Mari coy. Coy, mari coy. Bentar guys. Setting dulu guys. Masih 2 menit coy. Bisa lah ya. Bentar. YouTube. Oh bukan, salah. Apa Anda? Oh. Kagak ada suaranya.
Corong sekarang udah kamu yuk. Nggak enak badan kamu. Woi, ini kenapa ini? Cakep dekat Luminer.
Onic, how will they close this out? They need some sort of reach and some sort of burst. There's the reach, there's the burst.
I was gonna say, is this the reach though? She's got like the shortest range in the game, but I mean, you're shredding. You're shredding through at least the Barretts and the Gatakacha, you know? And I think in this way too, you're at least kind of protected. You're kind of covered here. If you need help in that lane, again, that's why that Louis is picked up. It's really strong to just go ahead and, you know, ultimate down to that gold lane if you need to.
Yeah. And the reason why I say there is, well, all right, the burst, there is no question about that when it comes to like the carry can just output so much damage in a short period of time. So they got that covered already. When I say that they needed that they can get reach out of the carry,
Mulai guys.
you're looking at the heroes that are melee from the side of BTR. So it's not like you have to reach too far when you're playing this carry up against the heroes of BTR. When you pick up the Malefic Gun, then you're already okay. The only problem, though, that I'm gonna say about Onic, and this also pertains to Reach, is that there is no legitimate threat to the Novaria. That's why I felt like the Novaria was a good last pick for BTR. I also predicted that it will be the case. If you're looking at this Moreno Novaria, this guy is gonna have the easiest game out of all of the people in the lobby right now, because there's not much reach.
Well, let's find out. We're jumping into it. It's game one here in this best of five and grand final. Games of the future 2026. Will Onic end up being champions once again? Or will Bigatron by Vitality make something happen here? Already in the mid lane, a little bit of action. Of course, poking back and forth. There's only so much that can be done. I feel like early game with the Novaria, but still, no battle spells actually going to be expended just yet.
Pretty chill about it. It'll be curious how Onic will, how BTR will utilize this lineup that is really front-facing against Onic. Apart from the Novaria, everybody wants to dive in front of Onic. And Onic, they do have two tanky dudes, but they only have one tool to really hold down BTR, and that is this Wrath of the Dryad, which means that Suns will have a lot of responsibilities with the duality being procced. Granted, the Wrath of the Dryad is a good tool to allow the Suns to continuously proc the duality passive, but it is going to be a difficult task for Suns for sure.
See if he's able to do it. This first turtle's up. Both gold laners going to go ahead and chill in the gold lane while this is just going to be a 4v4. Niall's going to go ahead and grab his buff, but they might just go for this. A little bit of a taunt. Unbreakable on Keyboy. He's got to go ahead and back off, disengage. Jalutfi, he's got the Consecrate. They got control of this first turtle, so Onic might be able to secure this. Let's see if they make it happen. Kyrie able to get the Retribution off, but they're going to go for the fight anyway. And Luffy trying to get away. He's going to get chased down, and they will take him with the Daytona's welcome. Oh, good duality, but here comes Niall to the back line. He's got people lined up, but it's just not enough. And now the diversion going to be used already. Looking for Niall. And Sands will get him with the double.
No way. No way Suns just did just that. I mean, 2-0 and 1 for this Louis. Granted, BTR, I think that was a mistake coming out from Shogun. Utilizing the Daytona's welcome and then spitting out the Uranus towards the members of Onic. I think he wanted to maximize the stun that you get out of it, or maybe he just outright misplaced his spit afterwards. But that allowed Onic to refresh with Lutpi. And of course, the Bats staying in front for a long time means that the duality, dispersion, the damage output of Suns will be just really high because you're just constantly throwing away your orbs, and the rotation that you get with the second skill of the Louis. Combine that together, your backlines are getting ricocheted so much that they end up just being blown away by Suns, which is literally what happened in there. And then the teleport afterwards, my god, Louis coming out from Suns, that guy's scary.
I think the Louis is going to just be a pickup that we see more and more, maybe even, unless some major changes happen between now and the next tournaments, of course, but it's working out really well, especially when you have the Wrath of the Dryad from the Velrek. It just makes things happen. Look at this. They're going for the purple buff. They want to put pressure on Niall's buff, and they'll do just that. Notice too, Kyrie on the Hirara, he locked in his Fury Hammer. Then he's starting to just go with the Sky Piercer because he wants to start building stacks early on, I believe. And that's all possible. You know, you got an early kill on, you got momentum in your favor. 3,000 gold ahead at this point. And now the second turtle is up. Kyrie, go ahead and start this one up. Emon is here though, so now gold laners will be a part of this fight. Everybody rotating down for this objective. Half health on the turtle, unbreakable. Oh, Daytona's welcome. Gonna be charged in. Shogun taking quite a bit of damage. Is it the Avatar of the Guardian? Actually, that's quite a bit of damage too as Shogun falls. Niall gets the turtle. He's gonna be able to go ahead and do a bit of damage before he gets out, but Bigatron by Vitality might have got the turtle, but they lost two.
I see the vision now for BTR. They will go for the aggressive move on Shogun with the Daytona's welcome that is going to be quickly followed up by the Avatar of the Guardian. Not literally quickly, but it will be layered properly wherein after the Daytona's welcome, you already have that Avatar of the Guardian with extra knockup and taunt afterwards. It's the chain stun between the Barrets as well as they cannot catch us. They go in bottom lane.
Okay, Keyboy unfortunately going to die there, but it made sense what Onic wanted to do. They give a kill over, and they didn't overcommit because I thought Kyrie with a couple stacks might have tried to do something, but they just kind of pull off there. That turret's almost down. That's one of the main things that Onic wanted to go ahead and do, give Kelra that advantage. You can already see the advantage building up, though, too, in the jungle, man. Kyrie, again, a couple levels ahead right now of Niall. He's been taking his buffs. He's about to hit that level 10. and he continues to do so. Just as he does, he hits level 10. So that gives him, again, an advantage that he can work with into the next turtle. But so far, Nile at least has been able to swing in, do a little bit. Threat like this on Sands, even doing more than a little bit as he takes him out. Good play there. I didn't know if he'd be able to get him that fast, but he does.
Well, with the help of his teammates, and of course, the fact that you have a lot of damage coming out from Moreno, especially if that Astral Echo is already laid up, that allowed for BTR to burst down Suns and shut him down. Has been a problem for them for quite a while now. 6 minutes in, there's a lead that Onic have already built, and it's 15 seconds before the next turtle. Lutpi already clearing the mid, whereas Keyboy, he wants to position aggressively as well up top. Maybe help his teammate Kelra here push before they prep for the turtle.
Yeah, so they got that push going in. Last turtle of the game is up. Still a couple thousand gold ahead right now is Onic. Kyrie has control of this turtle. We'll see if they do anything, but Nile's just going to go down to the bot. They're going to trade it for a turret for the turtle. So they go for that. Diversion going to be used. This is what we were talking about, though. They send themselves down towards this bottom side, but that turret will be pushed. So this is about as good as it gets for Bigatron by Vitality right now. Daytona's welcome into the turret. Astral Echo combo. The Avatar, the Guardian will be able to catch him, even with the revitalized. Keyboy falls. The tree down again, but now in the mid lane, Kyrie's there. They get the duality proc. He wants to get the stack here on Shogun. Does he actually have it? He doesn't. He has to get away. Too much of a threat there under the turret.
See the pressure now being applied by Onic, and because of that they have a 2,000 gold lead, but it seems like BTR are not letting up. They're already able to push down the bottom lane, and are about to push up top. Eman is moving really well. Comes to the map movements, died already twice.
Halo Pang.
But this makes up for it by still pushing and still gaining a lot of gold. Is
Sorry mas.
unfortunately behind Kelra, his counterpart.
Sorry
But
mas.
this is making something happen for
Halo bang.
BTR right now. Doesn't erase the fact that Onic is leading by 2,000 and they have a lot of Kelra with what going on as they go for Kyrie the dodge!
Oh, he tried to dodge. What a play from Nile and Emon. Able to make a move. Now trying to get away. A flicker from Sans. They'll recoup it though as they also take down Emon. And that kill went over to Kyrie, so but he's dead. But, you know, the turret did the job there for him.
Yeah. Eventually. I'm gonna be pushing in the middle. Great kill of the Kyrie. A great shutdown overall coming out from BTR. 22 seconds before the Lord, they needed to make a play. Unfortunately for Neo, is still trailing behind a lot from his opposition right now. So there's still a lot that needs to be done here by the side of BTR for them to come back to this game. But then again, Keyboy already positioned himself into the so-called new bush. He's spotted out by Finn for now.
Jadi ya nanti dulu guys.
Lord is up. Let's see some of the focus here. Let's see what Onic decides to do. They can play the macro just because they have the Louis in tow. Both junglers wanting to grab their purple buffs, getting situated for this Lord fight.
Lewat jauh anjing. Bentar guys.
Astral Echo being dropped down. They're just going to go for the fight anyway. Kyrie be able to dodge that with the iframe. Nile's going to have to go back to base. So this is an open opportunity for Onic to go ahead and start up this Lord. Under half health, Shogun gives the information. Finn's gonna pop the conceal. They're gonna try to delay this so that Nile can get here in time, but it's already gone. Lord secured by Onic. And now Nile jumping into the backside, looking for a possible kill. He'll find Sans. A pickup there they were looking for, and now Nile again cabling away. Avatar the Guardian, Finn trying to grab their attention. Akela takes a shot with a shatter. He's going to back off, but they're going to force the fight anyway. And now it's Onic trying to get away, but Daytona's welcome to spin him up into the team. And now Keyboy and Lutpi fall. The front line of Onic
Eman
goes down.
menggila. Apakah ada Emaniak?
They have erased the lead that Onic was able to build, and it didn't matter if Onic was able to blitz the Lord away from them. Their team fighting was great. And at that time, Kara didn't have the flicker, so he didn't feel that confident to command his team into a fight. And Lutpi as well as Keyboy just overstayed their welcome. BTR utilizing Shogun again, this time offensively. I feel like for BTR, if they play like this, if they are the ones to jump the gun onto Onic, There's little to nothing that Onic can do. Again, they're not
Iya.
more of a card composition.
Buka
With
semua.
the vision that they get from Moreno,
Empat
they are
orang,
well informed about what
coy.
Onic will want to do.
Tot.
Look at that ultimate catching 4.
Sakit juga, Cok.
The Astral Echo finding out what
Untung
Onic
udah
wanted to
ada
do,
skill.
and that already meant that Niall was able to skitter through and sneak a
Trot.
purple.
Ber.
Wow. Talk about a turnaround so far. Niall able to make something happen here again. Just able to shred through, you know, who you'd think is the tankiest or one of the tankiest, but so far both Lutby and Keyboy had a really difficult time at you know, fronting up on this front side for Onic. Might have to be in one of those cases where now you lean towards Kelra here if you're Onic to go ahead, and he should have his power spike. I mean, that Kelra's carry should be online, but it's more so of these fights, the way they're unfolding. They're just kind of getting outplayed by Bigatron by Vitality.
Sure. This makes it really difficult now for Onic. With the composition that Vitality has, this is very oppressive. You really have to find a way to get to the Navaria, which we said that we'll have a free game essentially in this game, and it has been so. Moreno is 2-0 and 4. There's not much that can contest him. And then eventually Shogun will be so tanky that he is no longer threatened by the damage of Onic. Well, Kelra is always going to be a threat, but you are tanky enough that you expose Kelra for far too long. So there has to be a creative way of Onic finding an angle to eventually take out BTR. Otherwise, it's going to be easier for BTR to maneuver into the fights. They're already going for the diversion play, but they're not going to find anyone.
Well, we'll find Kyrie's buff anyway. So he's not going to have that. The Lord comes up. Emman will make his way slowly down here. The rest of the team already set up, but you can see in this, man, the Star Shatters, even on Loopy, already do a decent chunk of damage to the health bars. Moreno dropping down the Astral Echo. Extra hitboxes being extended here too. Now Keyboy, he's got to be careful because we've already seen him shredded down so quickly on this Belric, especially with a Fanny flying around. Emman spotting the Loopy here. They might try to make a play instead of the Lord. We're in now Onic on the back front. They gotta go ahead. Keyboy. Oh man, a quarter of the health.
Yeah. Whew. And Niall is already working towards this time. He's low. But be careful. Kyrie forced to pop one of the iframes. You can see how menacing Emman is right now with this Paquido. He's gonna be able to burst down the members of Onic, and then if you pair that up with Moreno's damage output and the constant Astral Echo in the face of Onic, it's going to be more difficult.
Avatar of the Guardian on the defense already used. Onic comes in with a diversion, and after that push up top by Niall, that wave's gonna be managed now. They're gonna fight this Lord, half health on it. Finn charging up the Unbreakable, goes in with a taunt. They're gonna come down for Keyboy. They get him out. Kyrie, he's down too. Make it another pick up Shogun. So far, a big trade across the board, but now Iman and Moreno trying to keep things together while Niall's also on the hunt here. He's quite low, but he'll be able to secure the Lord. Bigatron by Vitality comes out with a win.
And all they had to do was to find a man advantage. It was already enough for them to take out the members of Onic. This time again, Onic just can't position themselves properly. They tried to go for a cheeky diversion play, which was, with all due fairness, ambitious, outplay coming out from Suns to survive against Niall, but that was just for BTR to secure that turret because it will be just the Luyi to defend. It wasn't successful in doing so. Onic now have lost control of the game as BTR are leading by 3,000, and all it took was for them to punish Onic when Onic tried to go for a 5v5 against them.
Let's see if they can do it here. Lord slowly making its way. Good push in the mid and top as well. Daytona's welcome. Throwing in the wall. Chopping him up, throwing him down. Keyboy gonna pop the Revitalize. They want to hold down this front side. Niall's just gonna make his way up top. He wants to take out the base turret as Lord goes down and dealt with, but good response from Kyrie. He won't let it happen. Diversion. Where are they gonna go? Into the jungle. They're looking to cut things off. They're gonna go right to this one. And now Finn gets taken out. But Emman, is he gonna try to do this? Oh no, he's fully stacked up. He's gotta get out of enemy lines. He's waiting patiently. It's only Loopy.
For now, it's not big threat. Information is important. Could be Gonna be seeing Eman get away from there. Good fight coming up from Onic, go for the -1, but it's not nearly enough. Nile wants a piece of this purple buff. They're trying to go for the exchange, but it's Kyrie who secures it.
Thanks for the leash, says Kyrie. He's basically do a little damage with the buff. Finally, Kyrie gets his purple. He's gonna go ahead and grab his orange next.
Yeah.
Really nothing that they really want to focus on until that Lord comes up in about a minute, but maybe if they can get a kill here. Maybe if they can get a kill, make something happen. Again, Lord's not going to be up for 40.
It's going to be a long time for both teams to recover with this one. Kyrie going in for the Blade of Despair as his 5th full item in this game. Lutpi actually went for the Sky Guardian helmet, which I wanted to talk about earlier. Which is interesting because you generally want resistance rather than raw HP as well as regeneration because you have plenty of that anyways. But I guess because of the amount of poke that BTR is throwing at him, it feels like okay, maybe during long team fights, during Lord dances, maybe I can get out of the fight, regen up by myself, and then try to fight another day. But now in comes the Lord, spawned at 17 minutes. Onic will defend their bottom lane. A little bit of long lane setup out there coming out from Lutpi. Diversion gonna be used. And BTR just...
They want to go for Shogun. They're gonna go right for Shogun. He didn't have the stacks. And now he's taken out. They're gonna go Dissipate. Kelra's got the room to work with here, but no! Nile goes in. Moreno will cap out the kill even with a Wind of Nature. So BTR turns it around to fall. They're gonna be looking for more. They're chasing down Kyrie. Moreno might be able to get a shot. Nile's gonna go ahead and join in. Cable's not gonna connect on that one. That's not where he wanted, but he gets Lutpi anyway. BTR will win that fight. And it was one that started for Shogun. Nile push. Like cutting down a tree. And now it's only Kyrie to watch the base turret down. He's got to try to dodge, but he can't. They get wiped out. And BTR will take game 1.
Both teams getting what they want when it comes to the draft, but eventually Vitality. When we said that their draft looks so complete with that last pick of catch out with that Novaria, it looked very cohesive and they look really good. For the first few minutes it was Onic controlling it, but when the power spike happened for side of BTR, they just can't be stopped. That's just game number 1, however, of this best of 5 series. Plenty of MLBB to be played all throughout the day. We're gonna be talking about that match pretty soon, but for now, gonna be hopping into a break.
Sponsor sih guys.
Caca baru saja memberikan 5.000. Semangat bang.
Apa yang semangat bang? Terima kasih sayang. Kak mau kayak parkir yang. Dulu iya apa ya? Buka metu ya mau. Dulu nanti tuh. Untung keluar bunyinya.
жаңа жетістікке жетелейтін марафон. Біз осы жолды сіздермен бірге 10 жылдан бері жүріп келеміз. Тимур Құлыбаевтың халық қайырымдылық қоры. Центр кредит банкімен сіз қарапайым және заманауи шешімдердің ортасындасыз. Нық сеніммен жаңа мүмкіндіктер ашып, тексерілген сапаға сеніңіз. BCC KZ мүмкіндіктерді кеңейтіңіз.
what a phenomenal, sensational moment, you guys. We just witnessed. We just watched how Onic has lost the first time ever throughout this tournament of Game of the Future, the first map ever. And it's in the grand finals against Bigatron by Vitality. What a surprise, you guys.
I would say historical moment.
Tuh, tambah kono suara itu. Time step.
And just like you said, the game was an intense, close game. An intense, close game is our beloved general partner who is sponsoring this wonderful tournament, beautiful tournament, which is Freedom. We'd like to appreciate Freedom for making this beautiful event, such as Game of the Future here in beautiful Astana, making possible. Thank you very much, Freedom, for doing that. Moving forward, I mean, that's a surprise for the fans, for casters, for me, for everybody.
Wow, what a game. I mean, just what we wanted to see as a first game of the 5, possibly 5, we still don't know. But I think this is going to be a 5 because off the bat, the first game, Onic has lost the one, but I mean, they might come back again, we can't say. But this is good. I mean, this is good actually. Now it's more of an unpredictability, right? If the Onic actually won, they would have actually go on as undefeated team. And it's more predictable, like if you're going like that, then maybe it's gonna continue like that. But what a game. We wanna see this. This is what we want. But we got the highlights up on the screen. I mean, we have Onic fans here all around the arena. And they've been getting ready. Both the teams are really excited, but I'm so thrilled to see how this is going to turn out.
We had another also fans there rooting for Bigatron by Vitality. Sorry for interrupting you, but there is a fans also for Iman per se. There is a fans of Onic, and there are fans of Bigatron by Vitality. We see the highlights here. I mean, the fight. I mean, the game itself looked until minute 17. Correct me if I'm wrong. Until the minute 17 on until the second Evolve Lord was even.
Yeah, I mean, we've been trying so hard to keep up with the game because a lot's been happening on the map. As you can see on the highlights, we are at around 5th minute mark, and Onic had a clear lead by then. I mean, initially, I believe around 3k gold advantage was there, but then as it went through, Bigatron actually stepped up their performance and then, you know, swept it at the end. I mean, this was a tough fight for both of the teams. What great performance for both of the teams. As you can see, it went towards the 10th minute, and Onic has still had a 3-kill lead and a bit of gold, but not much, to be honest. But the fights, man, I mean, I'm trying so hard to keep it up with that.
I agree with you, absolutely, Heidi. I have one more thing to tell before we remember what I said pre-draft. I said Bigatron by Vitality is the team who won Aurora Gaming on a 1-0.
Yeah.
And twice they picked a hero called Novaria.
Yeah.
And that Novaria actually helps them to win the second and the third game against Team Aurora game.
Yeah.
Right?
And now we see,
now it happened again. That's what I see. Like, I saw that coming in.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Onic wasn't really paying much respect for this more news Onic and more news Novaria, because he's been playing it 2 games in a row. Yesterday against Team Aurora Gaming, and he got a victory, and because of that now he's playing at the grand finals and actually winning Team Onic. It's just a surprising moment from here. And also I'd like to mention, I mean, Barret, the heroes that I was saying earlier, has been picked and being one of the best heroes here at the Game of the Future. According to statistics and stuff, I mean, just an incredible game overall.
Of course, I think around the 17th minute we saw a tie. So I really thought Onic's gonna come back again, just how they used to before in every game that they played so far. But then Bigatron was like, oh, they went for it. They really went for it. I mean, this is gonna be a tough grand finals that we're gonna be having here at the arena. We got the stats up on the screen. 4 kills in lead by Bigatron against Onic. And this is only the first game now This is going to be interesting to see how this goes.
I mean, I would be very surprised if Bigatron by Vitality keep the momentum and keep it going, and then maybe get the second game again. I mean, that would be very horrendous if they're gonna do that. We see the scoreboard here. Meanwhile, I mean, Keyboy and Ludwig couldn't do much against the pressure of the team Bigatron by Vitality over there. We see Morino was 408 on the Novaria. As I was saying earlier, the Novaria draft pick, the hero, has made the problems for Team Aurora Gaming, and now it's making a problem for the team of Onic.
Now we are yet to see if they're going to come back with the same pick for the next game as well. We don't know yet. The next draft and bans. Possibly they're going to ban the Novara overall. We never know. But before that, before we talk about the next one, I mean, make sure you go check out Yandex Go. You got the QR up on the screen. Scan it, download the app, because that's going to make your daily life a lot easier. You got everything in one app. Make sure you check that out. Thanks for Yandex Go for being a partner for this one, because we are having a great time here. First game, I'm so thrilled to see how this is going to unfold. We got more stats coming up on the screen pretty soon. But if you initially, when it started, I mean, Kyrie started with the first blood, and then Sans went with a double kill soon after that. But yeah, we got the stats up. We got Kelra versus Iman on the screen now. How does that look to you?
For me, it does look exactly identical. From all of our perspective, the gold is a little bit more towards the Iman, and a little bit damage more to the Iman, yes, but the same thing. Kill participation identical, damage taken, well, a bit of swing, but KDA is the same as Kelra. And for you guys to understand, Kelra is playing from the behind. They've been losing the game, whereas Iman was winning the game. So there's a little bit differences. But for me, the most notable player is definitely the guy who played on Novaria, which is Morino. That was an outstanding performance for me. And
there we go.
So the way as I think the broadcast people think, and this is, I think 75% of the kill participation over there, 600 GPM. I mean, 408, the guy is a GOAT, the guy is here to win a champion. And, you know, I'm so excited to see the team who are not scared of other team. And respect is another thing, but in terms of when it's a competition day, you gotta be a killer, right? Like the other people were saying, and now Bigatron by Vitality is making a surprise and sensation here, because this is the first time the map has been taking off of the team Onic. And Onic, if you guys are listening to me, you guys need to step up. I mean, you guys are here to defend your title and champions, and you guys were saying that you guys are here to make another run, and you guys want to be a champions. All right, go for it.
Yes, I think we get to see how that's gonna turn out. But there was this moment initially when the Kyrie, I mean, during the draft phase, Kyrie went for Hirara, which he's good with, and also when Lutpi went to Uranus, which he's used to playing that. We saw that in the last few days. He went for a couple of games with the Uranus. So I was more like, okay, this is going to be good. But then Novara came up with Morino. So, I mean, this was a very tough game, I would say. I cannot really deny the fact that for both the teams, they fought really hard. And I think by the almost 5.5 minutes, I mean, Bigatron's turrets were almost down, I would say. But the way they pulled it off at the end, that was great. And then a few more things. I mean, there was around 8 minutes mark, they had a 3k gold advantage for Onic, which is good. And of course, and then the whole game went in a different way. And 9:50, we had Kyrie taking the loadout. And then around 14th minute, I'd say Onyx, pretty much all the outer turrets were gone except for one on the upper lane, which was almost down, I would say. We can consider everything as gone, but by that point, I believe Onic was pretty much, I mean, we were pretty much sure where the game was going unless they make a comeback. And I think after 14th minutes, Bigatron actually made an attempt to get to the base, but Kyrie somehow responded and took it back in control. But at the end of the day, I mean, they went for it. Bigatron went for it.
I mean, let's be real here. Nobody could have taken a single map from the team of Onic, and Bigatron making a pull off from the Pro Esports. Then they're facing Aurora Gaming. They're losing 1-0 from both of the teams. They're coming back through on the second and third map, against both of the teams, and now they're playing at the grand finals here at beautiful Astana and taking a game off. First one from the Onic. It's really sensational. I'm so hyped up, and I'd be happy to see them actually doing what's going to be happening forward. And my tongue is twisting now. It's just like I have so much emotion to express you guys how big is this win is for the team of Bigatron by Vitality.
Yeah.
And we'll be happy to see what's going to happen in the second game.
Of course, I mean, when it neared, I think the last few seconds just before the crystal was taken down, we saw Onic going down like crazy. I mean, at the end, I think a few seconds just before the crystal was taken down, 3 of the players were gone. And then in a moment, that was only Kyrie left at the end. And by that time, we could see the cameras here in the arena looking at Onic's teammates, where they were like, we are done. They were almost sure that this is done. I mean, it was clear. And they took out all of them, and then the crystal was gone in no time. But again, I mean, I believe that the moment that they got the turrets down, they realized the turrets are down. I mean, that was pretty clear. And also that was a big push for Bigatron to approach the crystal and get that done. But huge save with Kyrie. I mean, once he did save that crystal, but they couldn't hold up. Towards the end, Bigatron took the Onyx teammates, everybody down, and the last one was Kyrie, and once he's gone, I mean, that was a clear shot.
I mean, everybody's hyping up Kyrie. Kyrie is the GOAT. Kyrie Div, Kyrie everything. We've seen the
Kyrie
fans
is the
all
god.
over here in Virva Astana, at Jack Arena, hyping up Kyrie. People were saying that Kyrie is the one player who actually can switch the swing of the game and make sure that Onic will get the wins get a win out of the team, out of the really tough situation. But this time is different. This time is different because Kyrie couldn't do that because the teammates have been dead, and that was a perfect opportunity for people to go in and take that W from the Onic.
That's true. I mean, it was only Kyrie left at the end. I mean, he couldn't do much. I mean, he cannot do much, to be honest, at that point. But again, I mean, great play by Bigatron. I mean, Moreno's Novara pick, and also Iman went with Paquito. I mean, great play by him as well. We cannot disregard anyone. But it is time for the next game. We are yet to find out what's going to happen. Let's move it to the gentlemen, Wolf and Niso. Take it away, gentlemen. It's game time.
Is indeed game time for both of the teams. It's Onic going up against Bigatron, and BTR was able to scramble a game win against them. Well, it wasn't really a scramble as it looked hectic only at first, but the moment that they have found their groove, BTR were unstoppable. Naisu, game 1 went heavily in favor of BTR afterwards. What do you think are some changes here that needs to be done by Onic for them to get back into their winning ways?
That's a great question. I think give something to Keyboy that, you know, maybe I don't want to say it's not Belric, right? Like Belric can work. He's been meta for a while, but maybe give something different to Keyboy. I think he dealt with too many early deaths just because there wasn't too much that they could do in game 1. Lutby as well, maybe draft for the Barretts for him instead of the Uranus. It looks like we might be going for the Hirama trade, of course, here again. But I don't know. I have to say that I think for Bigatron by Vitality, they just did an amazing job at getting themselves back into that game because Onic did control the early game. Like they were even into the mid game. You gotta remember they were up like 2,000-3,000 gold. So it was one of those moments where Onic was actually doing the right things. You know, like they were doing the right things until eventually, I think you also just have to put respect on what Moreno can do with these long-range heroes, man. Whether it's the Selena, whether it's now the Novaria, which is, it's been like his hero. I mean, there hasn't been many other people that have brought up the Novaria the way he has, and it's one of those things where he's star-shattering people, and if he's not star-shattering and hitting those long shots like he does with the Abyssal Arrow, he's just providing enough information with the Astral Echo, you know? So I think it just got to a point where for Onic, it was really hard to actually fight Bigatron by Vitality because they were never fully healthy, you know? Like someone had already taken some damage somewhere.
Yeah. And to be fair, it's the draft as well that made it work for Moreno. I feel like it's not just what BTR were able to achieve with Moreno himself, but of course this is a massive team effort, including the drafting that allowed for BTR to win that. Now, what will be their first pick? There still is the Barretts. I feel like the Barretts is a good hero to first pick, but this is Uranus that they first pick with. Well, there's no Paquito, there is Barretts available, there was the Hirara, but on top of it all, it will be the Uranus apparently. Interesting first pick here from BTR.
Are they just gonna trade the Barretts and the Belric going Onic now, or? Because I almost expected at least over here for Bigotron by Vitality to take something else. But again, Shogun did play the, if I recall correctly, there was one match where he just played the Uranus like 3 games in a row. I'm trying to remember. Oh, it was the Pro Esports match that they had. They went 3 games with, and Shogun only played the Uranus. So, you know, this is a very comfort pick that they can build up off and gives them a lot to do. It is going to be a trade, though. So you've got the Matilda and the Hirara going over. Once again, this time Kyrie will be on the Hirara, and I think this Matilda does help activate Keyboy a little more.
Hirara
He'll
5
be able to go ahead and do a lot more than what he felt like he could do on a Belric, who your main job literally is to just post up that Rapid Dryad with a flicker or not. You know, now with the Matilda, there's so much more you can take on.
Yeah, and they take it away from BTR as well, which BTR would really appreciate. Imagine playing the Uranus with the Matilda. There's just so much tankiness that could be found in there. So, do you now pick up the Belric for yourself as BTR? Do you get the composition that Onic was able to had before? But no, they will prioritize the Varia, and then as well as taking this cloud for themselves. So maybe Onic now will not pick up with synergy with both here as well as the Matilda. Maybe just the presence of this Varia is enough for them to not pick up that Barretts. But also it is available. Maybe now they're going to be looking for a dive. What if they pick up something like an Alice instead of the typical Barretts in the EXP lane? But that will be for later on. I think that right now you're more concerned about your Keller hero. Harith is available, so is Granger, heroes that will be able to pierce through this Uranus eventually.
I wonder if they just end up sitting on it. Yeah, because I was thinking Keller can just play so many different things that you typically see Onic kind of bank that and wait. Like usually the Keller pick that comes in last. So I was thinking Barretts too. Although Alice would have been great, I think Barretts just because it's usually paired up with the Matilda. You know, like you just have so much of ways to go ahead and utilize your Daytona's Welcome, regardless of if it's by yourself in a flicker or then you now have a Matilda too to kind of help you. Obviously the shields that Matilda gives, plus when that Flask of the Oasis comes in, I think that makes a big difference in a lot of these fights, and that's why Matilda has been so, you know, valuable for a lot of these lineups. And you gotta think too, now that you know this is back-to-back games for Moreno on the Novaria, like you've got to just respect that you essentially will not be seeing Moreno. Like that's one thing I noticed about him, like playing Novaria. Not only his accuracy like crazy, it's also just part of the fact that trying to find him, trying to get to him, it almost feels like it's too difficult of a task for Onic to do because his positioning on the Novaria is just really good. Obviously that really helps because, you know, she can kind of go through walls and stuff like that. So it's just one of those things where, again, it provides so much vision. And there was a time, remember, when Novaria was like the go-to pick in the mid lane, and, you know, she's had this kind of resurgence back into the meta now.
And the reason why that is because it has good matchups into the most of the meta heroes that cannot reach her, and most importantly, it's also a good hero to contest the Melissa in case. We saw how much damage we can do from long distance, and Melissa can just easily freely hit when there's a Novaria around because the damage output of the Novaria. But it's going to be the Nolan, and then Brody with probably a Granger ban here coming out from BTR. I'll be surprised if that's the case. It's a strong hero on its own, can actually match up. Oh, it's the Clint instead, I feel like, which is also a good option, all things considered. But I feel like with how Onic is playing the Clint, as well as this Hirara, they probably are more into the Granger than the Clint. But we'll see. Onic now will pick up their Roamer Oh, sorry, they're mid laner.
Mid lane, yeah.
What is a good hero to play again? What if they go Xavier, right?
Range for range.
Range for range.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know if we're that crazy. Maybe. Oh, what does he just go? There's no ultimate you want to take here. You don't take Valentina here, right? If you're Sons. I mean, other than okay, I guess you do.
No, the Astral Echo is actually a good ultimate to copy, all things considered.
Which one?
The Astral Echo.
Astral Echo. I guess so. Yeah, at least you have your own.
But
you gotta get to him, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You gotta reach him.
That's why I was kind of second guessing it. Like, you gotta get to Moreno. You know, the whole point is that's so difficult to get to him.
Yeah.
Last
What
two
are you
picks.
thinking now? Where are you thinking now, BTR?
Oh!
All right, they still need their jungler and then their roam. So I think at this point, you know, you're against Hirana, maybe just the Harley. That's probably the only other option we've really seen other than the Fanny come through. So they might get Rafaela Harley. Unless they do something different.
So this is
Hayabusa.
Rafaela. Rafaela with the Hayabusa. Usually not paired up together, but this is more of Rafaela plus this Uranus. This is Rome Rafaela, by the way. So
yeah.
Now there are a lot of problems now. You have to have a lot of like damage sources from your gold laner. What I mean is you're not ultimate dependent as the last choice here for so maybe
The Sky Piercer.
Oh, makanin semuanya.
oh yeah,
I can't read the
that's
text,
right.
but that's a Sky Piercer though.
Seems like it. Yeah, I think Ranger is the best option here for Onic, or maybe Harith second as the second best option. There's the Hayabusa as well. Okay, so they still pick up the Harith. Yeah, those are the only two options I feel like that will be good for Onic. But already I like the composition that the BTR has built here.
Leave it to BTR to just do some weird things, you know? Like, we said this going into game one. It got them game one, and then now, I think this is interesting. Again, because you've got great tankiness up front in that front line. You've got a great ability to go ahead and revive, get yourself back into this game. We'll see if we are on Flying Clouds or not, or which map we're in once we get to this game. But I like what BTR is doing, man. And again, the Rafaela helps you even more because you can rotate very quickly. You can stun if you need to. The Hayabusa is really squishy, right? But now that you kind of have some ground to cover with your sustainability with Rafaela, I think that's really great here. So I don't know, man. I like what BTR has. I think I'm going to have to go ahead and lean towards BTR for this game too. Wolf, I think we might potentially see a 2-0 right now, but you guys, of course, if you guys are watching around the globe with us, you guys can let us know who you think has the upper hand in this. Let's jump into the game. It's game at 2 in this best of 5. Bigatron by Vitality up 1 in the series. Let's see if Onic can equalize.
Already the setup here for BTR is good. It seems like whenever they play against Onic, they transform and just know exactly what to do and deal with Onic. Onic has been so dominant all throughout this tournament, and it seems like it's BTR that has got their number. And that's also true with MPL Indonesia. Everybody was just dropping their games up against Onic. Onics are so dominant, but in comes BTR coming in, and they look like they are the better team against Onic. It seems like they're feeling that again. Not unless Onic decides otherwise. Not unless they do something really different right now for them to be able to show us something, some sort of fight against BTR, especially with this draft that they
Mati, Cok.
And we starting with here.
Something along the lines of, I don't know, I think it's more of just Onic finding that form of execution. You know, it's the team fights. Like, we already know that all these players are individually, you know, some of the best in their roles, and they had an amazing, you know, last meeting with the grand final that they had. Hold on,
Moreno.
First blood going over to Kyrie, but here's the return. Shadow Kill going to be used. Revive comes through, and now it's Nile that falls. So that's not going to be worth for Bigatron by Vitality, and that's 2 kills in the hands of Kyrie.
Great start again for the side of Onic. This time they've utilized Kyrie in an offensive manner before the 2-minute mark. They identified that if you are able to force out where Moreno is, this is a good opening for them, and they do have to reach.
Okay, they might be able to go ahead and just make something happen. They get the
Mundur,
turtle
Cok.
now.
Cak,
They're going to be
mundur.
looking for more.
Cak,
Shogun,
kecokot.
tanky enough. Nile might just want to go ahead and grab his purple buff. Even though
Nyantol
there's
siya.
he
Si
goes
Juni.
in, he's able to pick up Lootby. So that's 1 kill, but now Onic, they know this. They're going to put pressure.
Blazing duet from
Eman.
Eman. Mundur sih, man.
Firing back, but now it's Kelra to get a kill. Man, Onic looking for more, but they got to keep Kyrie alive. This is the most action we've seen under 3 minutes in a while, man. That's insane. I think the entire game's the future.
Yeah. And that's 6 kills in what, 2 minutes and 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Quick activation of Kelra as well. I really like how Onic is doing it because now they're calling Kelra into the fights very early on and he gets a kill. So never mind the fact that Claude versus Harriet is more of a farming battle in that gold lane, that you're the only time that you actually will die in that lane is if you really mess up or if there's an external effort from other players into that lane. But having Kelra in the middle is really good. Can they take out skills? Yes, you can.
I thought they'd have enough shielding there from Keyboy, but Sans goes down anyway. So both junglers are having a hell of a start here, Wolf. You know, 3-1 on Nile, 3-0 on Kyrie. This is going to be the assassin showdown that we want to see.
Yeah. And we're going to be waiting for that to happen for Nile with 3-1 right now. But it seems like it's all about the targeting. The first time that they used this Hayabusa, it wasn't as impactful because the targeting wasn't that good. But if you see like Sans, for example, getting picked off in the middle, the timing was perfect for BTR. They are looking at the Hayabusa that's really scary, that can be activatable. Because apart from the healing coming out from the Matilda, there's not much that they can do against this Hayabusa.
Oh man, Kelra. I mean, the shadow kill's already used up, so Nile's not going to be able to find Kelra here, but Nile building up very quickly. This is very different from the Hayabusa game we saw him play against Pro Esports in the first game, where they actually lost that one. Right now he's hit that kind of potential to just snowball, but opposing him is the Kyrie snowball. So you got 2 snowballs going down a hill right now. Oh, they're going to be looking for Nile, and they shut him down. And it goes to Kyrie, of all people, who's already got the Sky Piercer.
Cool. They will resurrect him, but what a play coming out from Onic. As they now use their game sense to find where Nile will be. They secure a purple buff for themselves as well. They take it away from Nile, so that was a costly death for the Hayabusa. Not having... oh, that's the purple buff, but yeah, they're trying to invade as much as possible.
Kyrie has lived in his jungle.
Yep, for sure. And they're doing it again.
Oh, they're doing it again. They know his retribution's down, so they're going to take it the buff. You can see, man, Kyrie's got an XP lead. Oh, they're going to re-engage. Shadow Kill going to be used on Sans. He's
Blazing duet. Blazing duet.
Both gold laners going at it. Blazing duet was already used. They're going to go for collapsing down on Nile. They'll take up for the wall. What a shot from the Maestro Moreno. This is what we're worried about. If you're opposing this Novaria, they're going to go for more. Echo drops down. The Keyboy trying to bottom weight. He has to burn the flicker. And he should be able to survive. He's got some shields, but hold on. Moreno's going to line one up. And also the gold lane. Kyrie goes in, breaking the ankles. But Kyrie goes in to get another stack.
Kyrie is back 5-0-2. Game 1 was more of a warm-up game for him, so it seems that this time is actually showing his prowess as the assassin. Trying to outplay a lot of people out there in the bottom lane, eventually getting 2 kills for himself, 5-0-2. I would assume 3 or 4 stacks from the Sky Piercer. Gonna be a really good start now for this Hirara coming out from Onic. Now they are just leading by 1,000 though, because BTR, with all due fairness, they are retaliating, and the kill onto Kelra coming out from the Maestro is good. So Onic cannot celebrate that yet, this game just yet, especially because BTR are showing their teeth now. They're showing that they can actually fight into this neutral objective.
Seems like they want to continue to fight here. Half health, last turn of the game. Will this be a 3-for-3 for Onic? Moreno lining things up. Both Astro Echoes being used here. They're going to go for it. It goes to Kyrie, able to secure it. Shadow Kill going to be used into the Zaman Force. They go now.
Perangin
Luffy
aja, coy.
looking for an opening here too, but Kelra's able to take out the gold laner Emon from
Wah,
BTR.
mati
They're going to
gua.
be going for Shogun too,
Ush.
and Sans picks one up for himself. Finn's going to burn the flicker. And
Ish,
Onic,
ish.
they're going to be happy with that little sidestep too here. Potentially a
Mati, Cok.
re-engage.
Lu.
This back off sounds very low. Thread of the needle. Moreno going for the shot, but just not enough distance on there. And they'll take the tier 1 after the fight. Oh, Kelra.
Over the dance. And 2 quick kills for Kelra. That's not a double, but he did take out Eman before that, which is be so good for Onic. They are now gaining ground. 7 minutes and 40 seconds in. They lead by 3,000. They're feeding kills into Kelra and most importantly onto Kyrie. And already there's a big change when it comes to the non-verbal cues. You're looking at the camera for Onic. If you're looking at their camera, I mean, everybody's so happier. Every now it's lighter now. The ambience around the Onic side of the stage. And BTR, can they actually mount a comeback here? It's the War Access was the Hunter Strike only for Niall at this point.
Ooh, okay. This is still relatively close, it seems, based on the team fights. I know there's a gold lead for Onic right now. You're going to be taking the purple buff, though. They continue to put pressure towards Niall. And now Kyrie, level 13. I know Niall's almost a level 11, but still, you're seeing, you know, this pressure on his buff, the pressures on his green camps. Onic is able to go ahead and take what they can, but amidst this all, you know, they only have two turrets down. They're eventually going to get 3 here as Kelra knocks the top one off. But it looks like BTR wants to go ahead and open up the map a little bit themselves too before the Lord comes up. But they don't just get that turret just in time now. Oh, this potentially be bad. Good coverage from Moreno though.
Be setting up for this Lord this time. And the long lane has been pushed heavily in favor of Onic. There are 5 members of Onic around here. You're gonna be waiting for the Novaria ultimate. So there's a lot of stuff that's not going in favor of BTR right now. So it seems like Onic are just gonna take this Lord away from them.
Yeah, this is a Lord that they control the domain over. They'll go ahead and grab themselves the Lord. Now Onic can start to look to take down tier 2 turrets. I'm not sure if they're gonna get to the base ones just yet, based off the way that BTR has been fighting. They can try to maintain what they can again. Emon might have to go ahead and utilize Blaze and do it here, but their clear is pretty good. He's going to go ahead and push that top one up top. Potentially deal with the Lord too. Actually, he's going to go back to base. This tier 2 bottom side will be taken by Onic. So now BTR on the defense. Niall. Oh no, he's actually going to get stopped from recalling. He's going to be able to escape this, but Kyrie is going to chase him down. Oh, he goes back. Let's go. He's going to go into the jungle, and now they're going to hunt him down. Niall's going to have some fancy footwork for this.
Oh, no.
He gains some space, but oh, Keyboy's going to chase him down anyway, utilizing the flicker, and he goes back to the shadow, but Niall's got nowhere to go after this. He's been hunted down. Let's see if he can take out some minions. He's going to buy a little bit more time for the rest of the team until he's eventually taken out by Kyrie, and that's another stack for Kyrie.
Yeah. With all the fairness, Niall actually showed some really good moves out there. Using his quad shadow to eventually disjoint the circling eagle. But enough time for BTR to gather themselves and defend top, especially because there is no Onic. There's not much Onic heroes that the force to shop. He will still go for this Onic.
Blessing duet from Eman.
Shogun could be next here. They're
Mati
going for it.
Shogun,
oh, barely surviving. BTR will be able to go ahead and defend. They maintain that top.
Tanto
on Kyrie, but still, I think they're happy with that. Again, as I mentioned with that first Lord, they just want to go ahead and get the tier 2s down, potentially take out some base shields, but they don't get all of them. So I'd still say Bigatron by Vitality admits it all, another 5,000 gold behind, but they're still holding on. What they're going to start playing into is now Emon's power spike. That's one of the main things. He's got the Purify, so part of what Onic wants to do is get that, you know, pop that Purify, make something happen here. But even Niall's got to look for that window, right? That opening to go ahead and use that shadow kill to either follow through after the damage of the blaze and do it maybe, or maybe vice versa on how they want to approach that. But let's see if BTR can still fight into this. They still have 30 seconds before that Lord comes up.
Yeah. Using the ultimate again, the Astral Echo to
Tos.
find two and maybe just poke.
Mundur sih, Cak, mundur sih, Cak.
A very ambitious one at that.
Cak.
Although you can see the progress. Okay, the defense coming up from Onic.
Shogun just standing there menacingly, saying, "You guys got to go through me." Basically, a lot of ultimates being expended, but now attention toward this buff to try to take it away. Kyrie will be able to do that. So this is all part of the plan, I feel like, for Onic.
Especially if they're forcing the Astral Echo out, right? So it will now be available, unfortunately. Well, I guess Moreno knows exactly what the cooldown is, and he timed it perfectly for the alert to be up. So now they're ready. Hayabusa is going to be split pushing top 4. A little bit of defense on the long push, but Onic feels like they can burst.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and fight for this Lord. It looks like they want to just give this one a go. BTR in space. Loopy quite low. He's going to guiding win on out. Now Nile jumping in with the shadow kill. They're looking for a kill. He's able to go ahead and proc the stack, taking out Loopy. Winter crown going to be used by Keller. He goes down too. And now Onic the Lord fight again. As run away, but what a shot! Again from the Maestro, man. They have to get rid of this Novaria, because that's going to be a Lord going to BTR.
Unbelievable coming out from BTR. Again, winning out of nowhere. They were down by so much. They've erased the lead by Onic. They're now pushing. They're about to take the lead for themselves because only Kyrie is left. And with the Rafaela, it means that longer team fights means that you will be topped up. It's going to be a difficult defense now for Onic. And even if you eliminate one, the resurrection will be there. So, Vitality, they are just taking everything away from Onic right now.
So quick to turn that around, Wolf. Again, playing on the back foot. They dealt with the First Lord pushing it in their base, and then all of a sudden, Bigatron by Vitality now has control in this game. They took out one of the base turrets of Onic. It's their turn to go ahead and take some green camps and resources from them. And they still have this Lord making its way down bot, looking to go in and crash into this bottom base turret while the wave up top works on the tier 2. They're going to force a fight anyway. Shadow Kill going to be used to get them low enough to get them to back off the turret as the turret falls. Now Onic, they got to deal with this Lord. Half health on it. Wave's going to go ahead and push up top. Can they get more Suns? Has to be careful. Half health. These procs and these star shatters are so deadly if you're Onic. Right now, BTR might potentially make another go on that last base turret, lining it up with the Astral Echo. They're going to throw it down again. A shadow kill going to be used. They have to get enough space. Keyboy in trouble. Loopy going to go use the Daytona's welcome, but a shot from Moreno is going to bring him low, and it's Loopy that falls. But they have to disengage. A BTR is happy with the base turrets down. Kyrie jumping in. Holy Baptism going to be used, but he's able to avoid it. And now it's just 5 full force for BTR. They've got a cannon minion and another wave pushing up top. They might want to end it here to get to a 2-0 lead right now in the series. But the waves are going to be cleared out. Terus naik, they get a nice stun out with the circling eagle. Elra is gone. He's blasted down. Moreno lines up a shot on Sands. He has to go heal back up, but they're still going. Kyrie gets shut down in this mid-wave. Should be enough. Loopy, he's got no stacks here. They're going to go for it anyway. An Echo drop down. A double for Iman, the man. And they're going to work on the crystal to take game 2.
The masters of the poke strategy, and with this sustain coming out from the Rafaela, and a lot of good stuff that you see from Nael as well as Moreno. And Eman eventually in the end, being get turned by Vitality, are able to take game number 2. We're going to be discussing how the sustain coming out from BTR was able to outgun Onic in a snap of a finger. One Lord fight was all it took. That will be after this break. We'll see you guys after this.
әр қадамы жаңа жетістікке жетелейтін марафон. Біз осы жолда сіздермен бірге 10 жылдан бері жүріп келеміз. емес. Тимур Құлыбаевтың халық қайырымдылық қоры.
Masakan.
Центр кредит банкымен сіз қарапайым және заманауи шешімдердің ортасындасыз. Нық сеніммен жаңа мүмкіндіктер ашып, тексерілген сапаға сеніңіз. BCC KZ мүмкіндіктерді кеңейтіңіз.
We're back here after a devastating loss once again from Team Onic. What a surprise, guys. Onic, if you guys hear me, wake up. Wake up.
I have no idea what's happening right now, because this is unlike anything that we have seen until this point for Onic, right?
It's the first time they lost to Bigatron by Vitality. This is the second time now they're losing actual BO3, let's put it that way,
yeah,
to the Bigatron Vitality. I mean, guys, they won 2 games against Team Aurora yesterday, right? With a pick of Novaria. The hero has been, let's be real, it's not the most pickable hero at this tournament, but I mean, you guys are giving them, right, maybe you guys have plan and you guys are giving them the first game, and then now you guys are risking, and then now you guys are losing to Novaria. Now it feels super bad to you guys. I mean, you guys are in a verge of elimination here. I mean, you guys are verge to get the second place if all you guys won. I mean, you guys need to step up. We'll be talking about this more. Let me appreciate one more thing. It's a Freedom. Freedom, thank you very much for sponsoring this event, and we can see how Bigatron is actually winning the Onic here because of you guys. I appreciate you so much. Thank you very much, Freedom, for making this event and everything possible. Moving forward, now 2-0. Like, you guys are not banning. Like, you saw how Aurora lost to them when they were doing 1-0. Now they're 2-1. Aurora lost to them. All right. The first game, you guys are giving Novaria. Okay, they lose. You guys lose. Second game is the same thing.
I mean, they are racing ahead, right? I mean, Bigatron's on a roll so far. I mean, we are yet to see. By any chance, if the next map goes to Bigatron again, I mean, we are done. We are pretty much done with the grand finals. We don't know yet. But great performance, I would say, by Moreno with Novaria. And, of course, Nanel also had put up some great fight right there. We got the highlights up on the screen. As you can see, this was a tough fight for both of them. But I don't know what went wrong with Onic. Just as the last one, I mean, the first blood went to Kyrie again at this time, and starting with a double kill, to be honest. And then I think it went pretty much head to head when the game went on. It was like they were catching up on each other as the game went on. But we are seeing the early games, as they said, it's 2-2, and at some point, I mean, Onic had a lead of 5k gold, but that didn't help at the end, right?
Yeah. Also, I'd like to shout out for Shogun for playing a phenomenal game on Uranus. It's been clearly like really good play from actually for the whole team of the Bigatron by Vitality here. I mean, we saw the team fights were even all the time, and you couldn't tell exactly who's winning and who's not. It's been always close back and forth game. I'll give a respect to Onic. They've been playing phenomenal as well. I mean, just to be fair, it's like 2 games in a row we see very tight games, but the end of the game, who's winning is team vitality. You guys are taking one bad fight, and then it takes your towers down, your turrets down.
Yeah.
Completely. It just obliterates your all the turrets are down, and it's just so hard to do anything when all your buildings are getting exposed within milliseconds.
Yeah, of course. I mean, every time Onic, as you can see on the highlights, every time Onic grabs a kill, Bigatron has been chasing them down, and at this point, around 15 minutes there you go. I mean, Bigatron actually crossed the kill points right there, and of course the Lord Slain helped as well. But there we go. I mean, as you can see now, 15 minutes, they did not have any turrets at all. No outer turrets, no base turrets. Everything's gone at this point.
There's nothing. There's just naked throne, and Spin being harassed right now by the team of Bigatron Vitality. I mean, the guys look humble. They look at their face. They're very serious and stuff. And now, I mean, team of Onic as well.
So we have the stats up on the screen now. 17 kills against 12 kills. I mean, we had some in the middle around 5k lead as for the gold for Onic, but that didn't help at the end. And as you can see, where is Moreno? There he is. 12 assists, man. Like crazy
12 assists. And just like, look at the Finn. He has a 17 assists. My man has participated in all team kills. And whereas in Kyrie, on the other hand, 6 kills, 1 death, and 4 assists there. I mean, what an awesome performance from Kyrie, but you can't really fight. What I wanted to say in the first game, game 1, when you were mentioning about the Kyrie. I mean, we say you can't fight. You're a lion, but the lion can't fight 5 people at once. When you can't say, because we're playing a team game. This is a team matter, and for you guys to do well, you need to trust your team, and you can't play only for one hero, and you have to have a good strategy for MMOs. And for that, we'll help you guys watching our all games at phygitalplus.com. There you can watch all the strategical games and make sure you get your strategies up just like us do. And thank you very much. Make sure to watch all the games, all the disciplines throughout the link down below. Moving forward, I mean, I didn't expect Onic to be at 2-0, 0-2, and one step close to lose the finals.
There we go. We got the stats of Kyrie against Nanail right there, map 2. Yeah. And what are we looking at? I mean, the kill. I mean, it was interesting to see the last map. In the last map, we had kill participation almost like 50-51.
Yeah.
I mean, that was interesting to see because it was not too polarizing as the previous games. Now we are seeing more of towards the 83-71. I mean, it's coming up. But I mean, Kyrie did his best. I mean, we can't say he sticked with Hirara for this one again.
He did well.
Yeah. I mean, Nanail, good performance as well, and the MVP, we are yet to find out who's going to be the MVP. It's going to be interesting to see. I have a huge feeling it's coming back again with Marino.
Yeah, it could be Marino, it could be the other guy with 100% the kill participating, his teammate. I mean, I would like to pinpoint on Kyrie, honestly, because Kyrie into Nanail, don't get me wrong, Nanail is a fantastic player, but Kyrie is playing from the losing opponent team, and he has 1 left, and he's making this all kills and all assists there, and in comparison we see he did more damage than the previous guy, and all the damage here. That's what I'm saying, Finn. 17 assists, what an absolute chat, what an absolute goat here. 100% kill participation. I reckon any 100%.
We haven't seen any, right?
We haven't seen. I don't remember we've seen 100% kill participation. Finn, what a chat, what an absolute legend. That's why you actually won the game, because you were playing amazing, and keep working like that, keep working like this, and maybe you get the champions right now. We'll get to see. I mean, you're 1 step close for getting a new champion.
Exactly. I mean, the next game is going to decide if you're going to even have more maps after that one, because if by any chance Bigatron actually managed to win the next one, I mean, that ends there. The whole MLBB championship ends there, and Onic is not going to be taking the trophy away. So.
Buset, ngelag anjing.
we still have to find out what happens. But just before that, I mean, let's give you a huge shout out for the fans. But let's watch a video of yourself. Let's take a look.
The atmosphere of the Phygital Games of the Future 2026 in Astana is not only about high-tech competitions, professional athletes, their feelings and emotions. It is also about many small parts which make sport what it is. Entertainment, bringing people together and sharing joy and sorrow with each other. The fans create a delicate ecosystem in which the strength of the athletes amplifies tenfold. And this is why we find it so important to ask, what makes our fans the way they are? Let's welcome the crowd of the Games of the Future. What do you think about the Games of the Future 2026?
So first time at Phygital Games, first time in Kazakhstan. Unbelievable. I didn't even know things like this existed, so I've been blown away. Very different.
The Games of the Future is the best opportunity to Kazakhstan and especially Astana to promote our city, our country to other people who travel for this event.
I think that the Games of the Future is that it's a really nice opportunity to join the video games and the physical activity. So I think this could be the great opportunity to show to the young people how we can do activity also that we play video games. So I think I'm physiotherapist. I take care of professional e-sport player, and the physical is we need. So I think that is the perfect mix, the perfect match for the future of the video game.
Nice to hear that. What games have you already visited, and which ones did you like the most?
The Phygital shooting, the soccer, the football, and the third one will be, and dancing, and this will be my fourth one, the MMA. So far, favorites, I think the shooting and football.
I've been only in 2 games. It's football and MMA. And I love football, and it's very interesting format of football where only it's like mini football. And MMA I didn't see a lot, so we will see how it will be.
Here with the Phygital Spain, again Spain, we came with basketball, football, soccer, and Counter-Strike. But normally I have been working for football and also for basketball. But it's true that in the last few years I'm training me as a person in MMA. So I think that you can do all the video game, but it's true that for a long time I prefer FIFA. Also, I have been playing football for a long time, so I think we are all addicted to FIFA, but sometimes we play with the other people in Counter, Valorant, or LoL.
Wow! Tell us, do you like the digital part or the physical part more?
Physical, because it's more interactive. I don't really know what's going on the digital. I get confused, so physical for sure.
For me, digital is for the first time. It's interesting, but physical will be always more interesting, I think.
Yeah, it's what I told you. I always play in video games, so I love video games. But it's also when you are in phygital games, you need to do both. So I think that is a great opportunity to do. I love physical. When you train, you feel good. But also I love video game because when you win, you feel also good. So I think I'm trying to introduce that kind of specialty in all the school for young people, inactivity people. So I think I prefer both.
Nice! Can you share who you root for in the finals?
It's my first day. I saw only NSC football team. I don't know how it's called exactly, and I very like them. I think they went from South America, and the way they celebrated their win, it's very interesting. They're like very united players.
Between Argentina and Mexico, we are Hispanic spoken. So I prefer Mexico. I love that country, and I hope I encourage you to win in the Phygital soccer final. Let's go.
Finally, what do you think about perspectives of the games of
people? will be very interesting in the future. Yeah, I told before now, we were talking about that. I think the perspective we must to know more about this specialty, to introduce in the school, in different countries, with
Alamak.
population that they don't do a lot of sport. I think that is, if you play video games, it's cool to introduce to the physical, and you do physical. Normally, all the people, all my professional players, they play video games in the free day, on the day, and the rest of the day that they are not training physical.
Thank you so much, everyone, for answering all of our questions. We wish all of you to have fun watching the tournament and the teams you cheer for.
And that was a huge shout out to every fan, everyone who's watching. I mean, this wouldn't be as successful as this is out now without all the audience, all the guests that's been coming to the arenas, and of course watching on the broadcast also. Huge shout out to you guys. But again, I mean, 2-0 at the moment. One more game coming up up next. But let's take a look at the draft, which been for the last map. I mean, Shogun grabbed Uranus. I mean, Uranus was with Lutpi in the first map. And then Shogun just went ahead and grabbed Uranus first off. Moreno stayed with Navaria, which we saw how that played out. And Kyrie stayed with Hivara as well. I mean, he did his best for sure. And then I think the start around 2 minutes 30 seconds, that was very chaotic how they started, like double kills, and it was more or 3 kills within 2 minutes or 2 minutes 30 seconds. Great start to the game, but again, I mean, as it went down later, it was going to change. But let's give a big shout out to the Center Credit. Make sure you download the app. You can download it with the QR code up on the screen. Scan it, because managing finances is going to be tough without Center Credit. So make sure you check that out. Manage your finances easily with the Center Credit online banking app. Check that out with the QR code. Thank you for Center Credit for being one of the partners. And then as we went, as I said, the initial start for the last map was a bit chaotic. I really thought that's going to go ahead towards the end as well. I mean, that was 2-1. A double kill for Kyrie, and of course, I believe the Bigatron got 1 kill as well. But that was very good start, to be honest, for the game itself. And then there's one pattern we saw in both the maps, is that around 30 minutes for the last map, there was only Kyrie left when Bigatron actually took down the other players from Onic. And the same thing happened in the first map as well, where there was a point where I think around 10th minute, when Bigatron actually took down all the players from Onic and Kyrie was only left. But good job with Kyrie for this one, because at that point there was only Kyrie left and waited for others to re-emerge. But they made an attempt, but they backed up, but then came up again. 14th minute we had 11-11, 2 equal kills at a tie. And then after that, I believe Bigatron had a more control on the map, plus Bigatron had the load as well. After that, I think around 15th minute, all the bases were down. I mean, base turrets were down off Onic. I mean, at that point, there was no return, I believe.
Yeah, definitely is. Thank you very much, Heidi, for mentioning everything about us. I'm thrilled to see what's going to happen on game 3, just the same as you guys. We're gonna give our words to our beautiful casters, Niso, and Wolf. Please take it away, guys, and let's enjoy our game number 3.
Thanks so much, Katie, as well. As Ilya says, we are indeed heading into a game number 3. There is a massive potential out there that this could be a 3-0. And it's not to say that Onic is not showing anything, showing to us that they are worthy of this grand final. They did start 2 games with 3,000 gold leads apiece. And I think that it's just BTR finding better Lord fights. And it seems like BTR is showing us, okay, this is not a snowball meta anymore. What this meta is good team fighting, good sustain, and a lot of pokes with the Navaria. Naisu, do you think that game number 3 is a game that finally Onic gets a victory with?
Hey, you know what? If that's going to be the case, Wolf, it starts with banning Novaria, at least taking it away from Moreno, which they do. They do ban it out, which is good. I think all the Onic fans around were like, come on, just ban the Novaria. Well, they banned the Novaria, okay? But this could leave something open, too. This might mean we might see Moreno just pick up Selena. That might be one of the cases because so far, it just feels like there's something about Bigatron by Vitality that is just, I don't know if they're just a kryptonite towards Onic or what, because you know what, if Kelra's the god in the gold lane, Emon's freaking Batman, man. I don't know, because like what is happening in the gold lane? It seems like there are times when Kelra is winning the lane and he's able to go ahead and do things, but Emon just seems to play better as a team. It seems like the other teammates of Emon is just the utility belt, you know, and then all of a sudden he pops off. And that's something that I've been noticing here more that we watch Bigatron by Vitality play throughout this Games of the Future, is the way that they kind of move around the map together, but also the team fights. Like, I always look at the team fights as sort of this kind of choreography, and if you really look at what Bigatron by Vitality does, they're so good at that. Shogun is just that guy to be up front, you know, obviously he has to do that, especially with him usually picking up the Uranus. But then Finn, too, the way Finn moves and allows that space to be provided. Think about it, Niall's jungle was just destroyed half the time by Onic, you know, but still somehow he makes this hero, the Hayabusa, who barely gets picked by anyone, he made it work, you know, and even that, it takes the entire team to either follow through after your ultimate is used, that shadow kill, or for you to be able to capitalize on it when he has, you know, he's building those Sky Piercer stacks. So it's just like, it's one of those things where Bigatron by Vitality is just doing more as a team. You know, is Marcel the answer to change things, hopefully, and not have a grand final be a sweep? Maybe so.
Yeah, it's a good step because it's also being banned out many times. But that opens up still the Uranus as well as the bats. I feel like if you are BTR, you want to pick up the bats still in the scenario. But in case they do have the Uranus as a substitute for it, so they do pick it up and they pair it up with the Matilda. Almost an impenetrable combo as we saw in game number 2. And there is some semblance of that in game number 1 where it was Onic then that actually used that hero. Used that combo, Rafaela, with Uranus. But overall, we already know that this is such a good combination all throughout that you can really just plug and play any kind of jungler in here. Maybe you can get the Nolan eventually, or as we saw earlier, it was the Hayabusa, because there's so much that the Matilda as well as the Uranus is able to achieve. Especially up against someone like a Marcel, who is not a burst type of hero. In fact, this is not a hero that also facilitates for a burst, right? You really trickle heroes down with the Marcel. So they do pick up the Barats, and this time, there's the burst that you're looking for. There's the immediate takedown, and with the Brody, the torn apart memory, it seems like this is the answer. Because even with you guiding Wind through it, once you have the stacks, the torn apart memory will actually be able to take you down.
Yeah, hopefully this is the pieces to the puzzle that Onic needs, because it would be insane to me, I think, and to a lot of people watching, if this is actually just going to end up in a sweep by Bigatron by Vitality, because yeah, we saw the results, right, when they met back in their own regional professional league. We've seen them kind of go head to head multiple times, but it's just like there's got to be something here. Like, what is it about Bigatron that's just throwing Onic off what most people are used to watching them be capable of doing? And these first 3 picks, as you had highlighted already, Wolf, are great. But then, I mean, look at the answer right now by Bigatron. It's still the same thing. Brother, Shogun, I'm surprised he's not tired of playing Uranus. Uranus is not the funnest hero to play, you know? But
what do you mean?
Shogun's gonna... I know you like to play the Uranus, right? This is just like...
That's right.
And even our good friend Wilmy was playing him earlier. And he was saying, you know, it's a boring hero, but man, does it get the job done, right? And I guess that's how it is. But then also, this is why the Matilda is so great, because you can just let Shogun do his thing, and then you have Finn roaming around, taking care of everybody, providing, you know, utility and speed and shields and everything else. And this is why I'm saying Emon relies on everybody else. I mean, look who he's playing. He's playing carry. You can't as crazy as that sounds, right? Pun intended. But you need the rest of the team, and that's why they build around that potential. Whereas then again, Moreno is like a playmaker on heroes you're not expecting, and Niall can hold his own. You know, so it's just like that seems to be what the magic sauce here is for Bigatron Vitality.
Yeah, and the reason why I would agree with that is because the carry is good versus most of the heroes here for Onic, especially against this Barrats, and its true damage also is appreciated up against the Marcel, who relies on the sustain and resistances. And if you have the Matilda with you, now you're almost impossible to beat. Now even the Brody is up, you also have this Uranus to aid you when it comes to like peeling and everything. So BTR have mastered this kind of gameplay. If you're on it, you want to be able to take out the heroes of Vitality as fast as possible. So you're going to be drafting a hero for Kyrie that deals on burst as well. That's why the Nolan as well as the Hardy was banned out, because if you're looking at Onic, these are the heroes that will probably complement their composition and will be a problem for the Matilda. If the Matilda lineup is bursted down easily, then the Matilda is almost useless. You gotta find a way for you to be able to sustain your teammates.
Yeah. Oh man, you know, there's a lot of Onic fans out there. Kyrie, Keller on screen here, Onic in the back. It's just people are saying it's going to be a reverse sweep maybe. Well, it starts here. These next two picks that are eventually going to come through after the red 4 pick for Bigatron will tell us the potential of Onic making that happen. At least taking one step in that direction. I do like what they already have. I mean, you know, this is already a very strong foundation. But whoa, talk about another curveball in our current meta, a Sicilian. Now I know we've even seen the Carmilla, right? Carmilla has showed up a time or two. Well, now it's Sicilian. You take away my range heroes. Yeah, I still got another one.
There was actually a time where it was Carmilla and Sicilian together. It was Rune Eaters actually deployed it, weren't able to win with it. But you're right, this is a Moreno special. And the idea here is to make sure that you take out the Marcel as fast as possible, as well as the Brody or a threat to the Brody. And most importantly, you trickle down the Barrats with all of your slows. And you're going to be a threat in that. Onic are playing this game so weirdly, and weird I say because in game 2 they used what BTR played with, and now game number 3 are picking up the Hayabusa, which was freshly picked up by Naya. So this kind of tells us that they might be behind, where BTR is dictating the tempo of this game, of this series. In fact, when it comes to drafting, especially now that they picked up this Sicilian, I wonder what they close it out with. They're gonna be looking for their jungler. What if they are the ones to pick up the Bauman?
Oh man!
I think imagine
if they go Bauman, they take one. Okay. Oh, they're doing the. Okay, they're just having fun with it, right? I mean, Bigatron Vitality up 2-0. It's match point. They're doing the combo.
What is the jungle?
Man.
What is the jungle?
It's Carmilla. It's Carmilla.
Carmilla jungle. All right.
Yeah, it's the Carmilla jungle. We even saw this in MST.
Right.
So, Carmilla jungle with the Sicilian. Are we? Don't tell me they're gonna. I mean, is there some crazy stuff that they can do with the interactions? You know, and this is just. It's gonna feel a little weird, but I think it's also gonna put a statement out there if this ends up being a win for Bigatron. How are you feeling about it, Wolf?
Okay, so I always like pocket picks. I wanted this Carmilla Sicilian to be successful actually so many times before. So yeah, I like it. I think that this game with the Matilda, there's a lot to sustain. Again, they will try to out-sustain Onic. What they're gonna do here is to poke Onic continuously, force some ultimates, then try to survive with some iframes out there, which will be available for their Carmilla as well as their Sicilian. So yeah, this lineup rules, and I feel like it's not easy to pull off because it's so late game centric and it's so item dependent, but BTR have shown us in games 1 and 2 that they can make things like this work.
Well, we're going to find out if this is going to work or not. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's Game 3 here, potentially the last one. Games of the Future 2026. Bigatron by Vitality is at match point against last year's champions, Onic. Will they be able to go ahead and get it in a sweep with this lineup? Or will Onic take one game and extend this series? We'll find out here. A lot, again, I think has to rely on the potential to make this work. Here's one thing though, Wolf. You can't let this get to the late game, man.
Yes,
because otherwise, like we've seen before, Sicilian is just going to be stacked up, and it's not going to be a fun time if you're Onic.
No. So how do they deal with that? They're going to be using this Marcel to be aggressive. Maybe the third turtle is super important here for Onic. That's why I feel like that also coincides with the fact that the Hayabusa will now get the important items. So it has to reach critical mass. And of course the Brody. You gotta be very intentful with your Brody when you draft it. That means that you have to activate it properly. And we will see how Kelra will play with this hero. To be fair, they will have to go through a lot of sustain jumping out from BTR. But if they do get the burst, the initial burst, which they are very scary with, they can actually stop what BTR wants to do.
Oh, Shogun. Okay, he'll Guiding Wind on now, but the Shadow Kill is going to be enough to get that first blood in the hands here of Kyrie. Oh, the Sanguine Claws. And they get trapped into it. Kyrie goes down. Good use of the claws there into the back. Impact. And now this turtle is up, but they'll just wait. They can go ahead and wait for Shogun to get back to this. Again, Broken Wall is going to keep that turtle there. There's a feathered airstrike coming down. Artillery, it's going to take out Nile now. Bigatron, do they just want to try to capitalize this on the turtle? They're going to go for it, and Sans will secure the turtle. But Moreno does fall, and now Bigatron trying to disengage from it.
Oh. When everything fails, it's going to be Sans to save it. Look at that wonderful play coming out from Sans. Using this Farsa, of course, with the feathered airstrike at the last moment so that they can take out the Carmilla. And good shot calling overall coming up from Onic. We don't know exactly who made that call to still fight even when Kyrie has been lost to them, as Lutpi will be able to take a kill down the bottom with the aid of his teammate out there. So again, Onic starting real strong, just like in previous two games.
Okay, now they have to maintain the kind of lead that they've already built for themselves up to this point. We'll see if they're able to do that. I think this is just a call for a readjustment that everyone's kind of needed. It's not that they haven't controlled the early game in the past two games. It's just that somehow it's slipped through, and now they put pressure on Emon. Feathered airstrike dropped down. Kelra's going to be able to get a couple shots off. He already used the torn apart memory, so Emon's going to survive. Are they going to rotate up there? You know, he's still dealing with pressure, but they want to go for this anyway. Golden Hour used up. Nile's looking for his own steal. He's going to get trapped into this, but the fight's already going to break out, so Nile is still there. Shadow Kill going to be used. He's going to take the majority of that damage. So Nile is gone, and now next is Finn. Sans, and they're looking for more, and Moreno will fall too, so Onic will find nearly everything they wanted.
Every single thing that they want. They can even take out their third energy shield Samir with Kelra being in there, so that's a lot of extra gold that you're given to your gold laner. Gets back and pushes it. Gets a kill afterwards. Emma then taken out. Sans is on a different planet right now. We always say that Sans has always been one of the best mid laners out there. He plays so well. Whenever he is on, man, he is really, really on.
Yeah, this game, Sans decided, you know what, guys, let me take this game in my hands, at least for now. But it's just been different because of the pace that they're able to set. You know, this is also Onyx Turtle go ahead and take. You got Kyrie swinging over there. Everybody is a big threat to Bigatron by Vitality right now in this game. And Keyboy, too, on the Marcel, which we usually see banned out. There's a reason why it was prioritized, picked up. He's able to go ahead and provide so much information and just be annoying. I mean, look at him right now, just staying in the jungle over of Bigatron by Vitality. And also, again, with this kind of unique pick, maybe this is one of those cases where they oh my goodness, Loopy, yep, he took the purple. Loopy got the purple, so that maybe it's one of those cases where they just kind of overcook and Sans gets another one on Emon.
Yeah, sometimes there are just games where you are so ahead and you are incentivized by being so aggressive. Sometimes you're not, but this game definitely is a game that incentivizes aggression from Onic. as they are now controlling the map and they're taking so much away from BTR. However, it still is the early game, right? If there's anything that we've learned from the past 2 games that we've seen is that you're never gonna be complacent if you're on it. There could be a lot of angles for BTR to eventually come back from this game.
Yeah, this is okay. Shogun, he just tried to do what he could. He knew that he was caught out. The rest of the team's fighting in the mid lane, though. There's just not enough damage. I mean, loopy enough, able to take those bad impacts, and now jumping forward. Keyboy has to flicker, but there goes a kill to Emon. He's able to go ahead and trade, so it's the XP laner for the Roam. The kill that Bigatron by Vitality needed here, but they're still massively behind. Yes, we've seen this before, but not this much of a deficit in between both teams, and it's about 6,000 gold. So we'll see. Bigatron by Vitality needs to cover some grounds. BTR, though, they can try to push this tier 1 turret, but look who's around the corner. Kyrie's here. They know it. They've got to go ahead and get back. Sans is also rotating up. They want to go ahead and fight this. Looking for a feathered airstrike. They're going to drop it down. Retribution used. Emon trapped by himself. Doesn't have Finn next to him, so he goes down. That's unfortunate.
No, unfortunate, but at the same time, Onic are now in a spot where they can control this turtle because of that. The push up top also, my comments as the Brody is there. As long as they see the Moreno Sicilian, they know that they can push. From the other side, of course.
Yeah, this is one of those things where, yep, 3 for 3 turtles going in the hands of Onic. Onic has ballooned the lead up a little bit further now, 7, almost 8,000 gold. And it's this is why we were saying, you know, it's a case of you just don't want to allow this to get to the late game. There's still potential that it can, but I mean, in this case for Onic, it would look really bad if somehow this game got away from them. Just because you don't take this kind of lead, face against this kind of composition, and let that happen. You know, there's just no way I could see that happening. This is one of those games, like you said, Wolf, where, you know, it might be one of those instances where it's just go again, you know, get us to the next one. Because right now it's just too much. And Onic, you know, they got to wait for the Lord to come up, and there's still a minute and a half, so they're just going to go try to get the shield down here. Feathered airstrike being dropped down. They want to push this wave in, but they can't get the shield just yet.
It'll be settling with this one for now, as they're slowly trickling down the resources of BTR. If they are oppressive this time with this Brody, I think they can easily take this game, and especially you cannot wait for when the Bat's impact coming up from Moreno is too much to handle and you're not able to push anymore, and you're gonna be put in a game where it's finding Moreno all the time.
Yeah,
don't want to be in that spot for sure.
Yeah, they're going to put pressure here. Tier 1 and the base. Feathered airstrike dropped down. Emon in trouble. Has to get away again, but Sans will burn him on it down. Able to take one, and now Golden Hour are going to be dropped. Trapped in it, but turret goes down first, and they go back to the fountain to heal up. And that's going to be the shield popping up finally here in the mid. They might be able to get the bottom, too, with 10 seconds still in the death timer of Emon. Rockets being thrown out here. Dragon Shogun back. Kelra is able to get a couple stacks here. Still tanky enough to go ahead and take that damage. Feathered airstrike once again, but they hold on to the shield.
They hold down the jump. They want to try to go for an exchange here, BTR, but they can't. 5 seconds before the Lord has happened, so these are the games, these are the moments, specific moments that you have to look out for if you're on it, because these were the moments where you lost from the previous game. So
the jungle, man.
Yep, it's all on it.
The Carmilla is just, it wasn't it.
Yeah.
We've seen it before, but you're down 3,000 gold. And I think all he had was, what, Cursed Helm and another half item, basically, at this point. I mean, that is not where you want to be. I'm sure this one, once again, is probably, I don't think it's going to be an ending push here with this Lord, despite being up this much, but because they can still relatively clear out these waves. They can still hold on, but they might lose all the base turrets, especially since the shields were worked on, and Onyx got all these waves lined up. So they're going to start approaching the base here.
Yeah. The last time this happened, though, BTR were able to find something, so you got to be careful if you're Onyx.
Feathered airstrike being thrown down. Golden Hour already used, too. They're going to clear out that Lord. It's nearly taken down at this mid-turret. They're going to jump in with the shadow kills. I thought Kyrie was going to use it. He actually holds on to it. So still, the Lord is cleared out. Now this bottom wave pushing forward. Bigatron, this is what we were talking about. This lineup allows them to do, to clear these waves. And this whole time, this is the thing, Moreno's getting stacks here. Once again, they gotta press onto this turret. A feathered airstrike dropped down. They're holding on though, clear out the waves.
Okay, not too bad at all. Not too shabby at all for BTR, but they do lose their mid lane turret, which is gonna be annoying for them to deal with. And now there is going to be the purple buff take coming out from side of Onic. 90 seconds. That's another important milestone here for Onic that they have to really be careful about, because not only were these moments the turning points in the previous games, but also it is a point where you're gonna see whether or not you can actually take out the Sicilian, because Sicilian eventually will be a problem. Right now it isn't, but eventually it will.
Daytona's welcome. We're gonna go ahead and throw Shogun down really low. Can't escape, and now trapped in the golden hour. Finn circling the eagle. The rest of the team taking the shadow kill here too. They're trying to get back to their base, but Keyboy jumping forward. Moreno's still gonna be able to survive because of the health. And now Finn in trouble. Kyrie will just go ahead and grab this one. It might take him a little bit longer, but Finn knows it. He's gone. And now the rest of the team of Onic in this space with the wave pushing in. They've got the full force. Kyrie might not even need to be here for this, but they're going to do what they can. BTR on the defense, trying to clear out the waves. Daytona's welcome. Going to be used. Winter Crown. There's the feathered airstrike. They take out Nile. Lutby's in trouble, though. He does fall as Shogun's able to get it. The shadow kill is already going to be used. Now they have to heal up, but they're looking for more. They have the stacks there, and they're going to go for Emon. They're going to lock down on the crystal. They've got a wave of cannon minion, but BTR will still be able to defend.
They hang on. They use the golden hour, I guess, to stop any kind of progression coming out from BTR, but I guess they just are aiming to get this Lord for themselves, which they will, freely, style. They have inflated their own lead by about 13,000 now. 13,000 gold. And there still is a chip on their shoulder. Because of whatever happened in games number 1 and 2, you cannot be complacent if you are Onic. But you have a titanic lead now though, with 2 turrets also down in the middle. So there's a lot that they can work with. Naisu, would you feel like there is still an angle where BTR eventually wins in this game?
Oh man, that's so. I feel like that answer lies on if Moreno can stay alive. And Emon, I mean, even for Emon, you know, on this carry, he's kind of had a really tough game, honestly. Moreno's going to go ahead and try to clear this wave. Shogun will go ahead and tank this up, but this is an opening for Onic to go ahead and take. Consecration's already going to be popped too. They displace him a bit. Feather Airstrike going to be dropped down, and Moreno still going to be alive. He takes a couple shots from Kelra, but they're going to clear out the Lord. And now Shogun falls. The front line is gone. Emon doing what he can. Guiding wins on out, but they clear out the wave again. And now BTR, they got to clear out this Canyon Minion and the wave in mid, but Onic eyeing the base, eyeing the crystal here. They want to go for it. They're going to go in, just a last-ditch effort, trying to stay in as Finn is gone, and now it's too long for Shogun to be up, so a feathered airstrike's dropped down. Emon is working on what he can, but the crystal's going to go to Onic anyway. Finally, Onic makes it a series.
And with the amount of lead, about 13,000 and even more afterwards, they use it as a battering ram to push their way and force their way into game number 4. The series is not over yet. Another good start for Onic this game. However, this time BTR were not able to resuscitate themselves. Unfortunately, this Sicilian with the Carmilla is still not working, at least for games of the future. That is game number 3. This time Kelra quickly gets out of their booth, as it seems like Onic have found their way again back to this series. More of that after this break.
Welcome aboard Astana. Our airplane flies into the realm of dreams.
premium family plan.
Get ready for school with WB. WB, all you need for classes and breaks with try-on and payment on delivery.
And we're back here in the panel's desk. Thank you very much, Niso and Wolf, for your commentating. As you guys were saying earlier, finally they have found their keys, right? The Onic?
Yes.
Yeah, the Onic, they came back now, finally banning the hero called Novaria and making it win for themselves and make it easy for themselves. I mean, this is a champion title after all, and they're here to defend the title. So therefore, they actually won their game. That was a clean game, let's be real. And outstanding performance from Sanji, personally. The way how he played Farsa was incredible.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I think the first thing that they did was, I mean, the first plan was just banning Novaria. I mean, as soon as they get in, ban Novaria, because, and also that, I think that kind of paid off. I mean, we cannot completely negate it to that fact, but I mean, good performance by Onic. Great. I mean, they had the map for themselves, I think, overall, for making all these fun and all these competitions happen. Let's give a big shout out to Freedom for being the general partner, bringing and making MLBB happen here in the Games of the Future 2026 here in Astana. But we are all excited to see what's going to unfold. I mean, I really wanted personally to for Onic to win this one, because that's the only way we can have more maps going forward and get the thrill going, right?
I mean, if they're gonna ban Novaria again, then they'll increase their chance, let's put it that way, for the victory. I mean, this time it's different because Novaria is out. Now there's not a hero for Morino to do this so well, just like they were doing with Novaria. But nonetheless, let's take a look at the highlights here at the game number 3. We saw how the team here, the Sanji gets his first kill, and from this moment he's been just clearly unstoppable. I mean, followed by with another assist kill, making a good game for Lupi as well. I mean, they got the Barrett as well. They were doing phenomenal, and the Kyrie again on his signature hero as well, doing an outstanding performances here. We see people are killing after killing. There's a minute 10. We see already 12 kills at our scoreboard, and it's making on 13 now. Just incredible overall performances. And on, like I said, Sanji just did an amazing, outstanding performance here on his hero Farsa. And we'll be seeing if the Farsa is going to be picked again. I personally, if I were Onic, I would just do the same. So the same strategy, banning Novaria out, picking a Farsa if possible, making sure Sanji gets his hero, getting a Barrett as soon as possible, and making sure that we can just have the same strategy on the game number 3 for Onic. However, for Bigatron by Vitality, I mean, you guys are just one step close to get a championship. And now you guys should understand, okay, Novaria is out, there's not going to be a free win with Novaria once again. I mean, that was not 3 wins, but still, like, now you guys are playing with a different type of Onic, right? Without Novaria. So I'm pretty sure the team has to adjust on the heroes, and they should do very well. And we can see the scoreboard here, 18-4. That's a big stomp, I would say, from the team of Onic.
Great comeback by Onic right there with these stats up on the screen. Morino, I mean, he did good, I would say. Kyrie going with Hayabusa was really good. I mean, he took down I believe the first turtle, second turtle, and even a Lord, or more than one. Great performance by Kyrie as well. And Sands, of course, on the mid lane, he smashed it with the Farsa. I think he's gonna come back with that again. We're looking forward for the next one for sure. Great performance by both the teams, but Onic actually had this game. Sands, if you look at that, 7 kills, 0 deaths, and 6 assists. And Kyrie 6 kills, 1 death, and 5 assists. Both of them, I mean, the whole team played really well. Let's face it.
Yeah. Everything was smooth. It looked that they had the strategy on their mind. Now it was a clear strategical move.
Yeah.
And I would like to also point out the key boy with 10 assists there, always on top. He has no kills, 2 deaths, but 10 assists, always there, making sure his teammate Force getting those important kills, as you guys should be watching our beautiful Phygital games at phygital-plus.com, making sure you get to see all the insides, outsides, everything over there. Also, you guys can watch our VODs there. So if you missed your broadcast, no need to worry. You can also rewatch it over there.
Of course, I mean, even from the first third minute, Onic really had the lead, and everyone was hoping they keep the lead and not get Bigatron flip the other way around. But by third minute, I think 3 minutes 20 seconds, they had a 4-kill lead with the 2k gold. The limit was when it went to the end, they almost had around 13k gold advantage for Onic towards the end. That's a huge advantage. And at that point, I believe Bigatron didn't really have any turrets left for them.
Right.
Here we have the stats for Moreno and Sands. How do you think?
I feel Moreno has been unstoppable in 2 games in a row on his favorite signature here in Novaria. And I would like to point out Sanzi. I mean, 13 KDA into 1.33 KDA from the players of BDR Moreno. Gold advantage is there, hero advantage is there. It's double damage on there, even if not almost triple. And hero damage, I mean, Moreno took a lot of damage.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, he's been losing, but the kill participation, he's been always in the full kill participation there from Moreno himself. But unfortunately, that's not enough when you have 4 kills totally for your team, and when you're getting stomped by 18 kills from the team of Onic.
Yes, of course, and we are yet to find out who's going to be the MVP. But before that, just to get you all the details in one place, making it so lot easier for you, make sure you check out our official website. You can see it on the screen, astana2026.gofuture.games. Check out our official website. You got everything in one place, making it a lot easier for you to get all the pulse from Games of the Future 2026 here in Astana. Check that out. But there we go. We got Sands as MVP. Great performance today as a mid laner.
Very well earned. I mean, he played a phenomenal game. 706, 660 GPM, and overall, if Sands is going to continue just the way how he continues now, and if there will be Farsa picked again for him, I would be really happy to see Farsa in the second game on the hands of Sanzi to make sure that to close the game number 4, and we can get to watch the game number 5. But nonetheless, let's see how they're gonna do. Let's see if Bigatron by Vitality can adjust on their heroes, because now they should they should be prepared for the Novaria ban, right? So there should be another hero, another substitution for the Novaria ban in order for them to pick. And also, they banning Novaria, I mean the Onic banning Novaria, that creates an opportunity because they are skipping one ban that they were banning before. So the what is it called? The team of Bigatron by Vitality, that now they can make advantage of they banning Novaria and make it a 4-head move and 5-head move. So making sure getting those important heroes and making the strategy easy and smooth for them.
Of course, I mean the overall style, I mean everybody, both the teams are going to be looking for the win for the next one, because for Bigatron it only takes one more win to get that crown of the championship, whereas if you're looking at Onic, they still need to win 2 more matches, 2 more maps from this. So that's going to be, I mean, it is a challenge. At the same time, Onic's been unbeatable so far until yesterday, but Bigatron actually came up and they changed that history for today. So we are yet to see how that's going to play out for the upcoming games. If by any chance, if the next game goes to Bigatron, we are done there. They're taking the crown.
100%. Also, I'd like to mention Team Onic for their professional performance. I mean, just like what I said about Team Aurora, right? So they lost 2 games. They didn't give up, and they actually give their all in, make sure they adjust a couple drafts, make sure to secure that 3rd game, and then now we get to watch in the 4th game. But before that, let's watch our quick video about the couple interesting moments.
Did you know that a fan-made map jump-started a whole genre in competitive sports and contributed to the development of one of the adored games of many, Mobile Legends Bang Bang? Multiplayer Online Battle Arena, abbreviated as MOBA, is a subgenre of strategical games which started out just as a game called Aeon of Strife. Though it was far less developed than the typical games in the genre, since the characters didn't have any abilities, but the principle for the gameplay was established quite clearly. Play players controlled a single hero unit fighting on 3 lanes, which were protected by defensive towers. Might be unusual to hear for us now, since the MOBA genre is so popular, but it was not true at all for the first 6 years of the genre's existence. Dota, League of Legends, Smite, Heroes of the Storm popularized the genre and eventually led to the creation of Mobile Legends. Released in 2016, Mobile Legends was designed to appeal to a broad audience, and appeal it did. The free-to-play business model, along with captivating heroes, were enough to win over the hearts of many gamers. Now, Mobile Legends Bang Bang has a rich international presence, attracting many players from Southeast Asia and South America.
That was an interesting video on the history of Mobile Legends Bang Bang. I mean, I didn't know the fact that this all started with a fan-made map. Like, that was interesting to know. That's a good fact, new fact for me.
I mean, that's the same history about Dota.
Yeah.
The Dota initially started from Warcraft 3 and initially also from the brought up by fans and making sure like there was another map.
Right.
So that's how the history becomes history. I mean, that's why MOBA now it's biggest, like one of the biggest disciplines here out there in the world of esports.
Of course, I mean, released in 2016, I mean, we are going non-stop with MLBB right here. As you can see, we have a huge fan base for MLBB as for the game and also as for the competing teams and the players. We're going to be jumping into the next game 4 of the map 4 of this grand finals in a short while. But again, as I said, if Bigatron managed to get the next one down, we are having a crown, we have having a championship, but Onic still has to win 2 more games just to get to that championship. A few moments which I really noted from the last game is around 320, where I really felt like Onic has the game in their hands, where they were 4-1, a 3-kill lead plus 2k gold lead for Onic, and then it went ahead when you went up in less than 30 minutes, sorry, in less than 30 seconds, it became 7-1, a huge lead for Onic as well. And then of course Kyrie just went down and slayed the turtles and the lords as it went on, and by 6th minute it was 10-1. I mean, what a lead right there. And then by around, I believe around 13th minute, or between 12 minutes and 30 minutes, that was 13k gold lead for Onic. Huge lead gold.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the way how Onic just now adjusted themselves and the way how they just started to respect ban the Novaria from the team of Bigatron by Vitality was a very smart choice, because otherwise there would be could be a consequences, which they actually took the consequences for. I mean, on the game 1 and the game 2, we've seen two Novaria picks, and they were just phenomenal now. Consecutive wins for the team of Bigatron by Vitality, where, for example, Team Aurora, they hadn't had that chance to make sure to ban the third game because they actually played two wins on making sure to keep close out Aurora. And now they're winning 2 games off of the Onic, and I do respect Onic for their perseverance and for their being a professional, because they are managed to get a game off of them. Now it's 1-2. We'll see how it's going to be played out on game number 4, if we're going to get to see game number 5.
I mean, the composure of the teams is a very big factor when it comes to these kind of situations, because you're looking at a big, huge prize money plus a championship, which could be 2 championships in a row for Onic. So for them, losing the first 2 maps is actually very disheartening, I would say. But keeping that composure game for going for the 3rd map, getting into that in a fresh mind, with a fresh mind and the strategy to back it up is, I mean, that's commendable once it. And also it's worth noting that Onic actually made 3 attempts, I believe, towards the base. First 2 attempts were actually defended by Bigatron. So I guess we are ready for the game. Up next, our legends, Wolf and Niso is getting ready. And over to you guys. Let's do this.
Thanks so much, boys in the desk, Elias, as well as Haiti. We are at the precipice of seeing either the game, the series, extending into a full best of 5 or it ending right now, as BTR have managed to bounce back in the first 2 games of this series, scoring 2-0 against the dominant Onic in the early stages. Game number 3, however, was different. They started with this Carmilla as well as this Sicilian, a combo that is I would say cheesy in all things considered. And unfortunately, it didn't work. That's why we are now heading into a game 4. Nice. What changes should there be for Onic? Should they just continue banning that Bavaria?
That's a great question, because are they going to do that on red 3 ban? If they, I mean, no one, I don't see them wanting to play it, right? Like, unless Sans decides to go ahead and do it, but it might have been one of those cases where it's like, okay, it's just better if we do, because it's likely to go in the hands of Moreno. But I think more so of what Onic can do to even out the series is just, again, replicate that team play we saw. They played the same way they did the previous games. Again, they controlled most of the early games throughout the series. It just somehow BTR was able to go ahead and make a comeback and then turn it over on its head. You know, even when they were down a couple thousand gold. But Onic, in last game, they got a lead. They kept going. They didn't let up. They're still going to ban out the Novaria because that seems to be one of the lucky heroes for BTR. So this is all things they need to do. Fanny's going to be the first pick, though, to go in the hands of Nile. And I think that was one of the main things that they struggled with last game. Nile couldn't be activated, albeit it was a Carmilla, right? I mean, let's be honest. It was kind of a cooked draft, but, you know, this is better.
Yeah. This is totally different, but this time with the Fanny, you are already challenging Onic for something that is similar. I feel like the way that you do it is the way that you are signaling to Onyx that, okay, pick your hero now, Kyrie. Are you gonna let me just run rampant with the Fanny? Your ego can't handle that for sure. Ego draft against me. That's what they're trying to say here. But Onyx, my God, they get my favorite combo. It's the Paquito and the Bats. Already a very strong start for Onyx.
Yeah, I like this start. They get themselves the Barrett's the Paquito, which, you know, right now, let's just assume this is a Calra Paquito. I don't see Kyrie wanting to play this against the Fanny, but let's see. What does that say? Nile is better than Kyrie? Is that what that said? Nile's better than Kyrie. We got people warming up in the audience as well for this one. But Matilda and Brody. So they're going to go ahead and snag the Brody here instead of letting that go over to Kelra. But again, I'm assuming Kelra is going to play the Paquito. And then again, Finn will go ahead and grab the Matilda. So Matilda, Brody, Fanny. This is a pretty powerful first 3 picks.
For sure,
We've already seen Nile play the Fanny multiple times, but even in the first game, like, he did pretty good with it. So, what's the answer here for Onic?
Pick up you probably want to keep this Paquito flexed. So that means that you would want to pick up your mid lane or your roamer now. And when it comes to dealing with the midfield, you're better on it. As well as the Fanny, you want to pick up the Valentina, but they immediately pick up the Hayabusa. It's like, okay, yeah, the ego challenge worked up against Onic. This draft, coming out of Fanny, coming out from Nael, it means that Kyrie will not let him have a losing matchup. At least with this Hayabusa, you have a fighting chance. Almost always. So this is going to be an interesting battle between 2 teams. I feel like the Paquito Barrett is just too good, though, as an opener here for Onic, and it's hard to really contest now if you are BTR.
I like that we'll at least get the, you know, that matchup in the jungle, the Hayabusa and the Fanny. I think that's always really fun to see how the teams make that work, but also just how these 2 individual junglers move around the map. You know, so far the assassins that they've played have been great, and, you know, Carmilla's the only one that really it doesn't fit that profile, but let's forget that, right? Now you get to go ahead and do things on the Fanny that you couldn't do on the Carmilla, because even if you get behind on the Fanny, you still at least have an option. I think that's one of the biggest things, whereas in comparison, let's just say with that Carmilla, you fall behind. Literally at one point you had one item, it was a cursed helmet, right? And you just can't do much other than just maybe stun and drop down your cursed blood ultimate. But at least with the Fanny, if you get behind, then let the team handle themselves while you at least put pressure across the map. So it's going to cause a response, and then, you know, Hayabusa can do that. So you might see just a 1v1 assassin in an off lane or something happening while the rest of the team has dealt with each other. You can see the roam options being narrowed down here a little bit further, still respecting that Selena too. So Moreno is he going to surprise us with a different pick? I think is where we're wondering where we're going, right? Like, what else? Because the Sicilian, I don't know if the Sicilian would have been fine in a different instance, like if they didn't have the Carmelo, because we didn't really get to see it hit that power spike.
I think the Sicilian makes a lot of sense in that draft. I think that it has a lot of potential in that draft. I do agree. It's just the Carmilla that was the choice from the jungle role in fact, right? So it's like they're putting themselves in a situation where it's almost it's difficult to win, to be honest. But at the same time, if they do win, it looks good. Now Onic will cross this one out with a Ruby from probably the role position, which is interesting because it is another role. Definitely that the Ruby can be played in. It's just that teams are veering away from it. They want the scalability of a Ruby to be there. But it's one of those heroes that are always answers to assassins. Most importantly against both the Hayabusa as well as the Fan. So I think this is a generally good pickup for Onic.
Yeah, I like that because it just gives you ways to go ahead and catch, catch the Fanny, catch the Brody if you can. This Vexana pick, this was banned out a couple games ago. This time it's going to be picked up. Really good crowd control. The Eternal Guard is great to go ahead and play on. Plus you got the Hylos here now too, so helps speed things up or slow down Onic. This is a well-rounded draft, I would say, from Bigatron by Vitality. But I think even if you look at Onic, they're just lacking some magic damage. So it's like, what is their mid laner to do that? Is it just a Farsa? Is it just going to be a Farsa again? Is there something better for them to fight into? I know Eve has kind of fallen off, but yeah, okay, it's going to be the Farsa. Farsa is the best kind of punch for the damage, like in the magic department, at least to go ahead and give you that early skirmish capability here. So I do like what Onic brought to the table, man. And honestly, I think this could be a 2-2 by the end of this one. Obviously, Coach Yeb keeping the players there motivated. They're ready to go. I think they have the momentum. Great draft here, too. But let's see. Bigatron by Vitality might be able to make something happen with this Fanny, with this very mobile lineup to be able to move around the map.
So I get your sentiments, right? I think that this is more of a standard pickup for some Onic fans out there. But yeah, for Onic in general, what you get from this is, I guess, stability and a lot of ways to approach the game. It's not mid-game centric only. It's not late-game centric only. There's so many ways for them to approach team fights. And with this Farsa, where Suns was heating up in the previous game, allow them to really piggyback off that. But same can be said for BTR. I think that their lineup is pretty solid in a way that it has a lot of options.
Kill Squad Shogun! He popped the Revitalize, but he is going to eventually go down unless Fizz can take him out. What a guiding wind save, but now can he bob and weave? Shogun tried. First blood go in the hands of Luffy. What a move, what a plan, man.
That's interesting. But at the same time, would they achieve anything out of that? Maybe this is the only time that they can do that, and it happens to be in game number 4, so I think it's safe, because if they want to extend the series, then that's really some sort of the early game shenanigans that they really wanted to utilize. And the thing is, they only had to pop the flicker onto Ludwig, so there's not much that they had to do for that one to work. It did work. They're still going for Onic.
Yeah, this is the XP lane is just kind of funny because it's a Barrett and a Hylos, and like we mentioned in the draft, you usually don't see some of these heroes in that with those roles. They're going to go for Lutfi, though. Niall's up here, but Lutfi's tanky enough. You really can't commit to that. So one of the things is XP expected to be kind of a dead lane, right? It's mostly what they're capable of doing when these turtles come up, especially now that it's on their side. They want to go ahead and have those level 4s. If you think about value, though, who's the better value? The Glorious Pathway ultimate for Hylos or the Daytona's Welcome from Luffy?
It really depends on the situation, if you like, but generally speaking, most of the situations, I feel like 90 to 10 is going to be the ultimate coming up from Luffy. The Daytona's Welcome. Especially with all these top XP laners, I feel like they have been so good controlling and piloting this Barretts, and they're very sneaky with it, and I'm just happy to see a lot of good stuff from them.
Oh yeah, Shogun just laying down his own pathway to death. It felt like on that one. That's gonna be a kill. Going over. They're looking for more Emon. A little bit late to that, but they do find a Kelra. Good pickup and response by BTR, although the turtle went to Onic.
I think they're happier for BTR actually because Onic giving away some kills is always bad when it comes to the first turtle fight. I feel like it's more important, but because of that, oh my God, Keyboy, what a snack! That's the reason why we say the Ruby is somehow a counter to the Fanny.
Yeah, this is gonna be trouble. Guiding Wind. Oh, good usage. The run Wolf King, Feathered Airstrike down. Emon bombing the weave and using the stun too. He's actually gonna be able to survive. Really good usage of his own kit to stay alive in that Feathered Airstrike. Good play there. Now there's some more pressure. Kyrie's gonna be a little bit too late to that, but he is gonna take a green camp over. And you can see he's got a lead now, a level ahead of Nile. Nile getting caught in that bush was very detrimental to him, at least for now.
Yeah. Did not happen at all. It's gonna be some movements here coming out from Onic here in the bottom lane where you have to now think about that because you're fighting the other heroes already, right? Luffy's fine, Keyboy is having a great time. Sans is definitely having a great time. Kyrie by extension is safe, so you're gonna have to think about Kelra now if you're on it. How do you activate this Paquito? It seems like the response is to force some rotations into the first turtle, or in the second turtle I mean, where it is nearby the Kelra lane.
Okay, so at this point, what do you look for if you're BTR? You know you had not really a chance in that last turtle, so now you want to go ahead and try to make it happen. Obviously, Shogun, you're going to have to watch where he puts down the scorer's pathway, but Lupi is pretty much doing the same thing. So Shogun just doesn't want to get caught into a Daytona's welcome and thrown into the opposing team while the rest of the team isn't ready. So buffs are secured. Kyrie's going to go ahead and make his way. Same thing with Nile. He's got both of his. So it's going to come down to an entire team fight for this one. Actually, Purple's just coming up. Daytona's welcome on Nile as he's thrown out already. Eternal Guard going in and knocking them up, but Moreno is gone. And now without Moreno, this is a tough one. Bigatron's just going to have to give this up. So Turtle should just go over to Onic. He's going to grab his purple buff and rotate in. Malefic Gun, first item rush for Emon. He needs the range here. So Onic, easy take on this objective.
Took a lot of effort from BTR to be able to find their way into that fight, but in the end it wasn't enough for them. It was a difficult scenario to be in, I would say. But at the same time, it's proven that Onic is just better at team fighting at that point, and especially because they're equipped in the early stages. This early game comp that they have with the Barretts, with the Paquito, it's just way too good. But this time though, they're just utilizing the Ruby as well as the Farsa just efficiently. Be always a threat, you know, because if you're BTR, you're always afraid. There could be a bush play that the Keyboy can do with the flicker on hand. So up top, Kelra. Oh, he's gonna be able to outplay the hell. Unbelievable.
Oh, man. I thought the Carmilla was a bad game. Well, right now for the Fanny, it might be worse. Finn, taking the shadow kill here from Kyrie. Circling equal to be used. They're going for Kyrie. They do have the damage to take him out. Emon able to capitalize on that with the torn apart memory. Good play down here in the bottom lane for BTR.
Wow. I'm actually surprised by how BTR. Well, they're finding ways for sure, but taking down carry is the most important thing at this point because they're stopping the Hayabusa and also allowing for Emon to get a kill. So they achieved so many things out of that play. BTR are now slowly working their way back into this game. It started not so well, but now they are finding a lot of things.
Oh, they're making a play again. Eternal Guard dropped down, but Keyboy should be able to survive that. Really good response there for Onic to be there on that engage. Now what we're seeing is Nile trying to kind of recuperate here. It's not that he's down too much in terms of levels, but I wonder what the gold difference is right now. I'm not sure if we can actually ask for to take a look at the items to see what the difference is between things, because that's the main thing. There we go. Thank you so much. Now 1.3k between the XP laners, but the jungle's not so bad given how things have gone for Nile. This isn't too bad. 500 gold lead for Kyrie. But this next turtle up, third turtle of the game, they're going to go ahead and work on it. We'll see if they're able to go ahead and secure this one. Nile has to go ahead and approach this carefully. A turret's going to fall though as Kella knocks it down. They're really taking their time to allow Kella hopefully to get here for this fight. Circling Eagle going to be used. Already the marks knocking forward, but the turtle's secured by Kyrie. Emma gets a kill. Kelra waiting with the full stack champ stance. He looking for an opening. Nile goes in. He's able to take out one. There wasn't one for Kelra though. Now Kyrie going in with a shadow kill. Kelra's gonna go ahead and flicker forward and take out Moreno. So at least something, but it's Kyrie that falls too. So BTR wins the number team fight there.
Wow, this is definitely BTR showing us that they're really good at 5v5s. You can see how well they dance around Onic. They go in and out, taking advantage of the sustain that they get from the mid lane, from the Roma, Matilda, and then of course the EXP Hylos with this Revitalize. They were able to out-sustain Onic once again, and that made it really awkward for Kyrie, the Hayabusa. As we have said many times in this series, it's very awkward for assassins to work around sustain, to work around Matilda as well as, you know, maybe Rafaela. This time Matilda and a revitalized Hylos. And what ends up happening is that Eman is just able to just stack up, just keep on attacking whoever is in front, who's facing for Onic. And then when the turn apart memory opens up its windows, Eman is just there to collect.
Yeah, this is it's looking a whole lot like what we saw back in 1 and 2, man. Games 1 and 2, Bigatron by Vitality somehow finds these ways to get themselves back. I mean, again, think what Nile has had to go through. The amount of pressure, being caught, you know, by Keyboy on the Ruby and everything else, getting killed by Kelra. But he's still able to go ahead and do this. And now, even if Kelra surprises him, he takes a couple punches, he's not, you know, he's not going to get bursted down so quickly. So Nile's going to continue to put pressure across the map. Onic now has to shift their focus for that to make sure that Nile's just not pushing elsewhere, pushing turret down eventually, and able to get real estate across the map. Both junglers doing the same thing here up on the top side now that Lord is spawned.
Gonna be tricky now because every single lead that Onic was able to build has now been erased. Of course, there's 1,000 lead that Onic right now has, but it doesn't feel as impactful as it should. And again, another good start by Onic, but one good team fight from BTR was enough for them to turn things around. It's because of the positioning that we're seeing from BTR, the sustain that they have, understanding properly why and how this kind of composition works, like what are the ins and outs of a build-up kind of composition, and how do you utilize it, how do you win against assassins with it. Onic are still the first ones to put themselves in front of the Lord. Vexana down in the bottom lane, not showing himself just yet. Tricky situation now for Onic. Lord is at 50.
Okay, Moreno might get here in time. They actually delayed this Lord take. And Nile's getting his buff, so it's gonna reset. So even with that information, they're able to go ahead and handle that wave a bit, at least so it's even. Now Nile and Moreno will be back for this fight. Onic is respecting the potential setup here that BTR can pull off.
Surely. Kyrie has reset his buffs again. One more cycle, double buff. Bottom lane being controlled by Keldra. Keyboy is there to help a little
They want to make a play. They want to make a play on Kelra. They're going to drop the Eternal Guard. They get the Terrafly off, but oh, they miss a little bit. Kelra's trying to get away. The cable, though. He's 1 HP away. That Eternal Guard quite hurtful, but he's actually going to be able to go back to the base, and now can they get back in time? This is Flying Clouds, so they will be able to travel very quickly. Again, a big factor here is the map that they're currently playing on, the Clouds being able to bring them back quickly, reposition themselves. So a good attempt by BTR to try to take out Kelra, but it just didn't happen.
Did force out the flicker onto Kelra. Moreno will have his flicker first. It seems like they have already started with the Glorious Pathway, but no, No commitment just yet, even after circling Eagle Dice too. It's interesting that BTR are wasting some of their ultimates just looking for an opening.
I think they're really just trying to delay Onic, make them second guess this. One of the strengths again of having Matilda, it looks like even Onic doesn't know if they want to fully commit to these mind games of BTR as the Lord is just dragged back and forth between both squads. Looks like Niall's got something else in mind. He wants to go ahead and take the purple buff. He wanted to see if Kyrie would rotate for it. So he's going to take it away. Win a crown for Finn. This could have been also part of the plan, man. Just wait for some of these defensive items to be available to make it happen. They know that this Lord alone could potentially get them to the base turrets of Onic and vice versa. Luffy, half health, taking some damage here. Shogun as well. He's quite low. They're going to go for Luffy. Luffy pops it. Whoa, pops it. Daytona's welcome, but he was so low. He's gone. They're going to set it up in the mid lane as Shogun goes next. And Niall's got to get out of there because he's low. So now it's going to be a reset. He's going to go back to base, and Onic will reset as well.
The pokes coming out from BTR was enough for Lutpi to be forced to make that play. Albeit good catch coming out from Lutpi, but he was far too low. So when he popped the Daytona's welcome on the right target, the damage was too much for him to handle. He was taken out. And Kiboy had to pump the flicker just to salvage that fight. So it's an XP for XP trade-off. But flickers, battle spells, I mean, gonna be more available for BTR just quite a while. So Onic really has to delay this for themselves.
Oh! Huge Eternal Guard dropped down and Kyrie goes down too. It's a double for Niall. They knew that Kelra was down to the bottom wave and they set it up and down the mid lane. They're going for Kelra. Kelra, he's got stacks, he's got some shields, but he's all against the world. Lord for BTR.
Oh my god, Moreno. The problem for Onic for the longest time and showing no signs of stopping, my man. And now, look at them knock into the front door.
They just want to take this turret out. They're going to be back up here. BTR knows it. They're happy with the base turret for now. They still have the Lord to go ahead and spawn and start marching forward. But man, oh man, what a setup from BTR. Taking a look at the items here, Wolf, you see what they've got available. I mean, even the Brute Force breastplate now for Niall is why it's so difficult to actually burst him down, you know, to kill him down. He's in, and even enough to kind of work around that is just how does Onic play the long game here? The long map is what they're dealing with. And that moment of Kelra being on the bottom side made this happen. Now they're going for the bottom turret. They still got to deal with the Lord here. They're going to go ahead and try to clear out the last cannon minion. Kelra will be able to do that. So they maintain the base bottom turret. Tier 2's all down. Onic sees BTR knocking at championship point for this one. But they'll clear out the waves and they manage it well as the Lord goes down too.
Moreno's just playing out of his mind in this whole grand final. Even in the game that they've lost. Still Moreno playing so well at this game. He is a problem for Onic.
They just want this base turret, little fake out here. Glorious pathway drop down. Eternal Guard, they're going for Keyboy. He's quite low, picks up the immortality. He's going to be fine. And BTR, they take the discipline route to back off. They got 2 base turrets off that Lord. And now Onic gets another chance to go ahead and reset and not let that happen again.
Really, really dicey spot here for Onic. You know one thing that's fortunate for them is that the Lord will spawn onto the short lane, where their short lane is the side that was pushed up, and their long lane they still kept their turret intact in that in that lane, so they still have a fighting chance. But now we've reached critical mass for BTR. Fanny has been a problem and now is a full problem with this Brute Force breastplate, so that there is additional anti-CC that you get. So that means that the small amount of crowd control that they have with the Ruby is definitely not going to be enough anymore. And he's also tankier, so gotta be careful about that, mindful about that. Onic also does not have a marksman, so at this point in the game, he can only do so much with a Paquito. You will need the help of your teammates, which means that a 5-man wipe coming out from Onic is difficult to pull off. You really have to slowly trickle down BTR if you want to score that. So everything is just difficult now for Onic.
It's crazy how, again, the story happens. It looks like they're going for a sandwich play to cut off Lutfi. He has no stacks. He could be in trouble. Pops the flicker. They're gonna go and crash down.
Gino-gili, Amas.
Again, and Loopy is gone.
Gila.
Without the stacks of
Gila-gila.
an airstrike, he's gonna be stunned by Shogun. Good play. Emon still alive as Kelra gets a shutdown. But again, the stun comes through.
Braigu.
Falls, and now Kelra on the run. He's quite low. A quarter of the health. They're gonna chase him down. He has the shields though. He's gonna be fine, but they got a wave to deal with. Down bot and BTR without Nile though. I don't think they can get much more, even though they're in the base here, unless Onic decides to go ahead and go for the defense. They're going to try to make something happen. Glorious pathway dropped down. Finn goes in. Do they want to lock onto the base here? They're trying to delay this as much as they can. But again, the combos come through. Kelra picks up the immortality, but he's going to get trouble. Taken down by Emon. And Moreno goes in with the flicker. It's a double for Emon. The setup from the Maestro, a triple. And they're looking to end it here. Can he get the Maniac? They don't even need it. They're going to go for it, and then the base. And there you go. Bigatron by Vitality. They want to go for more. They want the savage, but they don't care. They'll take the championship from Onic here.
Denied of a back-to-back championship run. Not only in this tournament, but also in a tournament prior to this. BTR has got Onic's number. The members of BTR are just way better at the game when it's the grand final up against Onic Indonesia. Again, the champions. Unfortunately for Onic, they have not been losing up until this point. It was almost a perfect run for them here at the Games of the Future. But when they went up against BTR, the tides have changed. BTR are just on a different planet, on a different playing field. All of the games, Onic led in the early stages, but eventually BTR were able to pull it back to their side.
Man, Emon, E-Man, D-Man, Batman, like whatever you want to call him. I mean, Bigatron by Vitality. They've got the flag there. They've got the championship. They got the trophy in front of them, Wolf. And as a team, I mean, just phenomenal. MLBB, once again, to be able to make this happen, the Maestro and everyone else, Nile, this as a team, they are your Games of the Future 2026 champions.
Langsung diangkat kan besok nanti.
We were talking about and hyping up how much Onic have figured out the meta game where it's a snowball game that you have to win your lanes, and if you get a lot of lead in the early stages, you can win. But BTR, they just smacked at us in the face and said that it's different. We know how to win. It's a sustained meta after all. The Rafaela, the Matilda, the Hylos with the Revitalize, they are all a tool to take out the snowball metagame where you're always just killing people left and right with an immense amount of damage from assassins. In the end, the masters of poking BTR were able to win it against the burst of Onic Indonesia. And what a championship it has been, I see.
Let's go ahead. Thank you so much for joining me and Wolf here. We're going to be going to the panel after the break here, but congratulations to Bigatron by Vitality.
Welcome aboard Astana.